button on everything as I was jumping in here. I don't know why it always tells me live streaming isn't available right now whenever that I fucking hit the record button on OBS on the YouTube side of things. I don't even know why it does that. But alright, here's to hoping that everything works over on my side. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that everything is properly troubleshooted over here. If you don't mind, me. It looks good, you know, except for the YouTube side telling me that nothing is working, as for fucking usual. I don't know why, because, like, the playback, I will never get a YouTube playback either. Let me try refreshing it, just for funsies here. Yeah, I don't know. The YouTube end of things just doesn't like me. There we go. My playback's working. Excellent. Cool. Good. Alright. Glad we got that one taken care of. Anyway, hello everybody, how are you doing? Hero Man, good to see you. Ricky Shu, Zagarin, Jimmy McGee, hello, how are you doing? So, yeah, I just got back from a rainy walk. So, I am glad to be indoors now, that is for fucking sure. Also, my phone just went chocobo quack. Some random tryhard, how you doing? And, absolutely, I appreciate it regardless. And, I will see you later, my friend. NA, how are you doing? Dominion Hermit, hello, hello. I don't really, I'll check that later. Fly, how you doing? How you doing there, buddy? No, it really isn't. It just blocks up the drain, and we always wind up being the people that have to, like, call about it, too, whenever that it winds up becoming a problem. And unfortunately, due to the place where I live, they want us to be vocal about it and call people over it so that they can send a maintenance dude to go and take care of it, though, but they love to fucking charge people for it. And it's like, well, we didn't flush the fucking grease down the sink, so, yeah. So usually what it winds up meaning is we fucking pay a ton of money out for fucking, well, it's not really that much money, but we pay more than I care to pay for in Drano for sinks I don't fucking clog. So, yeah, that's a thing that happens here. Anyway, how many of you guys are ready for the Library of Ruina? I'm not. And let me just stop the music and start playing the Library of Ruina music. I don't even know what our first abnormality is going to be as we dive into this, guys. I don't even know. So, like, just as a random conversation starter as well here, guys, because I know I started out kind of fucking quiet, and I don't have water, and I might need to fill that up before we get started here. But, I might do that while people start showing up, to be honest with you. Let me do that really quickly. I'll be right back, and then I'll go right back onto my thought tangent here. So, I will be back very shortly to refill my water bottle. But let me just go ahead and catch up on this real quick. Sounds rough, what the heck. Honestly, it's not too bad. There are significantly... My sink plugging issue from my disgusting neighbors is just a first world problem. To be really... I complain about it, but, like, by the end of the day, like, the way that I look at it, it's like, if that's the worst thing that I have to deal with in life right now, yeah. So, honestly, it doesn't put me in a bad mood, really. Depending on which Abno you battle, you might get to see an updated theme. Oh! To Uno reverse them, it might prove hopeless. Go fill up the water, the Abnos will be a quick one. Alright, cool. Fair enough. I shall be right back momentarily, folks. Okay, I return. I do not have my headphones on now, but I return. But, my tangent that I wanted to go on to there, ladies and gentlemen, some of you were talking to me before about, because I was writing a D&D class, and I was talking about it in the Discord server before about it, but it was a D&D class for the Final Fantasy XI version of the Dancer job from Final Fantasy. And that's pretty much almost done. I've actually written out all of the archetypes right now, with the exception of one of the archetypes that I've decided to name Étoile, which is kind of a combination of so like I did 3 archetypes for Dancer, right? There's like not really focusing so much on like the waltzes that Dancer has in 11, which heal. And that actually doesn't even have any waltzes, I think, for Blade Dancer is how I want to set that one up, though. But instead, it's actually more of a duelist character, so it's just, like, way more risk-reward and does, like, a shitload of damage and just multi-attacks like crazy. And, I did another one that was, like, the supporting version of what the Dancer is, so, like, a special focus on all of its support dances and stuff, and supporting the team and buffs and debuffs, right? And then Étoile is like a balance of the 3, but not really especially good in any field, while also being the most squishy of all 3 dancers. It's also an unarmored class, kind of like Monk, but I decided to use the same Monk skill from 5e that uses your bonus from your Charisma modifier, because that is entirely... Let me put it to you guys plain and simply put, a Dancer, if you couldn't already put 2 and 2 together with RPG terms, especially with D&D, it is essentially a Dancer version of a bard, really. It is an aggressive bard. That is the best way that I can explain what the Dancer is. It is a highly evasive and aggressive fucking bard that dual wields. So why not base it around kind of like Monk and make it an unarmored class that also adds its Charisma modifier into its AC? Figured that would be balanced, and I think I'm gonna really like how this turns out. It's coming together really nicely, but I just need to wrap up that last archetype, Étoile, which combines all 3, and then put in a couple more listings and things, though, but it is going to be a monster class. Recommend Morgana Le Fay. How you doing today? I do not recognize that name. I feel like I might have bumped into it in the past, though, but hello, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? I have always been a sucker for dual wielding in any RPG in general, and D&D is no different. I absolutely love dual wielding. I liked it before it was cool and before everybody was on the Kirito Kool-Aid from Sword Art Online. Dual wielding was just always my shit. I hate sword and shield, and I hate one sword. It's just fucking boring to me. So I've always loved dual wielding. Is fairly easy, and one's a bit rough, and one you have to build for, which is fine. That is fine. I appreciate vague pointers and stuff. That is all right. I have a notification in here from Haruka Caribou's Discord, which looks like that is not a going live notification, which is fine by me. I can't fucking watch that right now. Kinda doing a thing. Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys as well, since most of the people appear to be here by this point as well, so as another note, am I recording the... Alright, good. My playback just looks different. Everything is good over on the Twitch side as well. Excellent. But, yeah, so, guys, the other thing I wanted to ask as well, too, with this stream is, I'm gonna be frank with you, I don't really feel like recording this for super long. I'm probably gonna dive into an abnormality or two. And so long as that one abnormality fight doesn't take fucking 3 hours to do, I'm actually aiming for about the 3-hour mark and then stopping. That's what my goal is here today, rather than I just don't want a really big brain. I'm not really feeling the game today, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So I don't really feel like a super long stream for the Library of Ruina, but I still want to chill out with you guys if you guys are still around afterwards and possibly move over to something else. I have been on a bit of a PSO2 kick for the last 2 days, PSO2 New Genesis, so that is a possibility that I can do. I have no idea how that's going to run on stream, though, however. And with the current connection issues and the hiccups that already exist in New Genesis at the moment right now, that could be really ugly if I restore that, especially if I record that, rather. Especially if it's, at a peak time. So, that is a at my own risk discretion right there for PSO2 New Genesis. But I also kind of want to play Satisfactory today, and I don't know why. I'm in a binge to just kind of play something. I know I said that I don't want to, like, big brain anything, but, like, by the same exact token, I'm kind of in, like, a production mood game today, weirdly enough. Like, I'm kind of feeling the Factorio Satisfactory vibe for some reason, and I just kind of want to try to advance further in my Satisfactory save, and that could be fun. Because that's a chill enough game where I can easily engage with chat while playing the game as well. That's not something that I need to be fucking focused on It is an amazing idle game to talk to chat and play at the same exact time. But that is another one. I also still haven't played Nier Replicant in a millennium so far, and I just have those 2.5 hours from that one stream that we did. So that's something I could dive back into. But I would need to remember the buttons all over again. I have Muse Dash, but I still haven't played it. I have no idea if I need to censor anything on it, though. I'll be frank. I really don't. I hope not. But that's another thing that I could just dive into for funsies. I'm just going through my Steam library at this point. What else have I fucking been playing lately? Because I know I've played a couple of different games with people. I've obviously been playing Crush Crush because I want to make sure that I have all of the event tokens for things. I've been playing a lot of a new mobile game lately, actually, guys. I got a new mobile game under my belt, thanks to my damned sister. She got me into the newest Final Fantasy Brave Exvius title, which is War of the Visions. It is like a Final Fantasy Tactics-esque kind of Final Fantasy mobile game. Yeah, they give you a lot of fucking items to work with in that game for some ungodly reason, and I don't know why. They've given me so much shit in that game, but, like, the reason that they do it is because when the grind kicks in for even some of the basic items that you need, like, once you need a soul of a particular job to be able to level up one unit's job, I have dumped hundreds of energy into trying to grind just one of them from a stage without them dropping. So it gets horrendous with certain things that you need in that game, but I want to make a video about War of the Visions as well. It's not a bad game, it's just... it's kind of like a watered-down Final Fantasy Tactics, is the best way to explain it. It has its appeal as far as, like, a mobile gacha game goes, but, like, because, boy, is it a mobile gacha game, that's for fucking sure. But it is not what I would call a high-quality tactics-style game, or a Final Fantasy Tactics-style game, really. It just doesn't feel the same. Which is not meant to, but... if I just cancel this... sorry, guys, I gotta go and watch Haruka. Too many games and not enough time. Bet is that... try to lure you into a false sense of security, having you think it is not grindy. Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it is. Hello, Toho Rookie. How you doing? Now, you have not missed much, my friend. I'm just talking to everybody and giving it a moment for people to show up, as is the per usual, before I start diving into the nitty-gritty right now and talking about stream plans in general, because I'll be honest, I don't really feel like playing this game for about 6 hours today. I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it today. So I don't mind diving into it to try to get some progress to at least beat a singular abnormality today, but I'm not feeling the library grind today. So I'm trying to just talk over what are possible things I can dive into right after that, because I might just continue streaming, but a different game, and not gonna lie, Satisfactory sounds really fucking good right now. Either that or I can just blow up some mechs in MechWarrior Online, but I'm a little rusty on that at the moment, so I'll probably be Garbu. I think that's really about it that I've been playing. I think I reinstalled Terra, but I haven't really played Terra, so take that one with a grain of salt. And my cat is being an attention whore right now. What do I have in here in my games folder? Black Desert, I think, is way underpatched right now. Wow, because I'm like looking at MMOs that I have installed right now, and I'm trying to think if there's an MMO I've been kind of playing. Soul Worker, I guess. I've taken a long break from Soul Worker, though. But I hit 62 yesterday with my Ifnals, there's that. Oh, I'm going to dive into one head first. Unless you get the DLC. Recommend the game that is my profile picture. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. What is your profile picture? What game is that, Jimmy McGee? Where's the money, Wazowski? Where's the money, Wazowski? Anyway. But I'm definitely gonna dive into an Abnormality head first. Oh, A Hat in Time! Yo, dude, I actually do know that song. I know that game. I just didn't associate the picture to it. A Hat in Time. I have been told a lot of good things about it, especially with its soundtrack. Yo, hold the phone. Let me go to the store really quickly. A Hat in Time. Oh yeah, that is definitely A Hat in Time, alright. Yeah, it is like a wicked cutesy platformer game with like a pretty interesting boss segment that I watched that was surprisingly horrendous. And by that I mean actually spoopy as fuck. I always love that. That's like one of my favorite things. It's a genre and a style in a game or a story that is not at all new, but like I love getting my expectations absolutely shat on with things. It's like one of my favorite things. That's why Doki Doki Literature Club was something that just fucking stuck with me so hard. I love that concept of, hey, here's a thing, this is what you're expecting, fuck your expectations. Have this instead. And you're just kind of sitting there in fetal position under the computer desk like, oh, this is what I signed up for. Low-key Moth! Mr. Chalupa Monkey, please check your DMs. I sent you a thing earlier that you'll really appreciate if you have not seen it. Takes a lot of inspiration from platformers and other games from the GameCube era. Oh, absolutely. Love Town much? Pretty much. Love Town is exactly that. One DLC about challenging bosses, and the final challenge took me like 54 tries. That's always a good thing, though. That's always a good thing, in my opinion. Putting something that's almost unnecessarily difficult in a game, at least as an optional thing to go for, because then it gives you something to work with, or something to work on. No more Love Town. Didn't it get announced a sequel? From what I've been told, Dan has come out and said there will absolutely, that he's back working on the sequel game, which, if you guys have not seen anything pertaining to it, by the way, do go through Doki Doki Literature Club and do watch the 2 game theory videos on Project Libitina, because that is about the most hype I have ever been over a fucking game in my life. Then all of that shit that Matt Pat goes over involving Project Libitina. That is one of the best fucking things that I have ever seen, and of course it would come from a Reddit ARG. Like, cause literally Doki Doki Literature Club is a fucking Reddit ARG. That is entirely what it is. If you guys are unaware of what a Reddit ARG is, it's basically people that come up with like creepy riddles and stuff and put it up on Reddit, and the fun of it is like there's no indication saying that it is fake, but like the vast majority of people obviously go into it like, yeah, this shit's fake, but it's like that possibility of it's kind of real, is it fake kind of thing, and it's creepy. It's a creepy pasta that you solve by doing things like image, not fabrication, but like modifying images in Photoshop, lightening up the brightness or the contrast or something like that, the gamma or whatever that you need to do, like that kind of shit, to be able to find like codes and hints and, you know, cracking the fucking Da Vinci Code, because that's what Reddit is like. But like, literally Doki Doki Literature Club is Reddit ARG the game. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, Doki Doki has been planned a sequel from the get-go, my friend. Victor Samuel Gil Mignano. Hello, how are you doing, by the way? It has been planned a sequel since when it came out. Like, it has been. It's actually been in the files from the get-go of the game. That's, I don't even want to say it, man. I really don't. Rewatch Doki Doki Literature Club, or re-get your information on that, and just watch the game theory stuff on it, because MatPat will explain it far better than I will, in any way, shape, or form, by any capacity. Just do it, please. You'll be so fucking hype over the sequel game that he comes up with, but the idea of it, if you remember everything from Doki Doki Literature Club, is that it is suspected by a lot of people that there's going to be a game for each individual character, because that was like one of the main things that MatPat deduced as well, is that like the way because the characters behaved as strange as they did in Doki Doki Literature Club, the reason that they did was because they were characters from different games entirely. So that's like the ongoing theory right now. Announced at E3 too, holy shit. Honestly, I might be interested in it, Jimmy McGee. I might throw it onto my wish list just that it's on there. Remember when one of the teasers suggested that something was coming in 2019? Oh, absolutely. It was... yeah. I didn't do anything with E3. I don't really watch E3. I don't really, like... I don't keep track of... I'll be honest with you guys. I don't follow any games, okay? But the games that I do follow, alright? As of now, at least, the only thing that I follow is Freebird Games, the people who made To the Moon. Because I have seen To the Moon all the way through. I have played Finding Paradise and A Bird Story all the way through from start to finish. And I've seen all the minisodes, everything regarding that, and I know that this year was the announced new date of Imposter Factory, which is supposed to be a spin-off, or is it? Literally, that's how it is. That's how it's advertised by Can Reeves Gao. It is a story that has nothing to do with To the Moon. Or does it? So, I have to play that game. That's not anything that is negotiable. I have to play that game. So, that's what I am following right now, and that's about it. I follow Freebird Games right now. I have followed a couple of other games, but they have already released, so I don't have anything more on my following list. I've never been a big follow anything for person. I just kind of wait until things pop up and then get pleasantly surprised. Doko Doki reception, right? Oh my god, that'd be something else. Begone, unholy book. Yes, you mean the Portrait of Markov, yes. Not sure if it's a sequel. From all the stuff I saw, it seems to be more of a teaser for his next game, not necessarily that it will... Well, it doesn't necessarily tie into DDLC, any of the things that was already announced anyway. That's the thing. They're entirely different stories. If it's what I think it was, honestly, it'll probably reference DDLC in it, if it's another game. Unless it's literally a completely different game that was with another company or something. Literally finished Finding Paradise the other day. Was it... how'd you like it? I remember that game got a lot of flack when it released for some ungodly reason, because it just did not... a lot of people didn't think that it held a candle to the Moon, and I was like, what are you talking about? This was, like, way better than To the Moon. Like, obviously that's subjective, but, like, dear God, I just found Colin so much more fucking interesting than Johnny was in To the Moon with Finding Paradise. He was just way more of an interesting character. His life was way more interesting. And maybe that's just because him and I kind of have a similar mind of thought, though, where we're just like, fuck the world, and spent our childhoods not giving a shit about the world around us, and lived in a fantasy world. So, I don't know, but, like, I felt that in Finding Paradise, Colin was way more fucking relatable than Johnny ever was. Oh, Finding Paradise hit me like a brick shithouse, like, dear God. That hit me hard, man. That scene, no spoilers for anybody who doesn't know, but, like, just the scene on, like, the cliffside where they do that reveal of how A Bird Story ties into Finding Paradise.
when that shit clicked to me where I was like, oh, the bird! I lost it. Like, I couldn't fucking hold myself together. Oh, man. Hello, Odin Snivy Gunner. How you doing there, bud? Doki Doki reception. That's awful. That is an awful thought process. I do not want to think about a Doki Doki reception. Finding Paradise is so good. It really is. And you can play Finding Paradise without playing To the Moon, Victor Samuel Gilmaniano. So, yes, I have to say the whole entire thing. Absolutely. I could just say Victor, but I really like saying your whole name. It's fun. I'm doing alright, Odin. I am doing absolutely alright. Did you wind up catching my conversation, by the way, in the Discord about writing a D&D class for the Final Fantasy Dancer? I figured that would be something that you would be all over, because that's like that is your realm of expertise, my friend. Oh my god, yeah, that was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. That was just such a beautifully well done game. Absolutely. He's so Kangao, that is, like, with the writing. He's just so good at the sequencing, especially the way that, like, all of the different environments in the To the Moon games always just kind of play out like movies as you're walking through the environments. Like, I've never really seen that with other games to the same spectacle, I guess, necessarily, like, especially for something that is like a Pokemon game. Like, you know what I mean? Gil, gotcha. I can do Gil. That is absolutely alright. Yeah, I am probably gonna dive into Gabora first, is the answer to that question. So, that being said, I need to set people up here, and then I'll go ahead and take another look at chat, but yeah, I have always had a special place in my heart, and so has many other people had a special place in their heart for the To the Moon games, and anybody who has not played them, I would say try to pick it up if it's something where you're looking for a good gaming experience and not necessarily like a super good game, I guess, because the way that the narrative is taken care of in To the Moon games, it is just absolutely something else. Like, the whole entire point of those games, just to summarize the plot for you guys, it's not really a spoiler either to it. It kind of just gets thrown at you in the introduction if you read up on the games. Basically, you play as two happy-go-lucky scientists, right? I say happy-go-lucky, but really one is the straight man and one's a fucking nerd and a goofball, but you play as two scientists where their whole entire job is they hook old people up in the last moments of their life, right? They hook them up to a machine, and they dig through their memories in order to grant them a dying wish before they pass away. If you can't already guess where this is going, the games get deep. They get pretty fucking deep, they get pretty fucking heavy. And the whole entire story of the game is you're watching this two-dimensional, non-existent person. You're getting fed piece by piece memories of their life, the life that they lived, and just the story of another human being. You are living vicariously through them, experiencing their life one piece at a time. It is the most beautiful thing that I have ever seen portrayed that can only work in video games. It is one of like the biggest strengths that you have in video games, just because that would not work in any other medium the same way that it does in To the Moon as a game. It's beautiful because it's just a combination of just sad, happy, it's just life, really, is the best way that I can explain it. It is slice of life in all the ways that you're not expecting slice of life to be. I'm gonna give you Nemo's page, Blackford. And then the last one, I kinda wanna give you the Proselyte page, Bang 10. Maybe roses. Fuck it, you get roses today. Red like roses.
Fills my head with something, 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 something. I forget the last part of that verse. Holy shit. It has been too long since I've heard Ruby music. Fills my head with something that finds me. I can't remember the fucking lyrics to that song. Gibora's floor, absolutely. Doki Doki girls, but as magical girls. Oh, man. Oh, To the Moon has an excellent story. And I know I like shit on To the Moon earlier, but it's not a bad game. I just don't like Johnny as a character. I don't really relate to him as a character, and I think that Gao over time kind of... He just went from To the Moon, right? And tried something different that just resonated with me more, number one. And number two, you obviously get better in time as you make games, as you do things, as you write stories. So I just feel like it came out much better having my foundation of To the Moon already established going into that game. And also just in general liking Colin as a patient way more than Johnny. So I liked Finding Paradise so much more. And it just hit really fucking close to home because that just... I didn't have a imaginary friend when I was younger, but that was my life. As just living in my head and doing shit, so... With dreams and finds me, yes. Also, River was the better character in Yeah, absolutely. To the Moon was, honestly, even though she wasn't the focus character, you kind of played To the Moon for River. I mean, literally, that is the name of the song on top of it, is For River. That's the theme of the game. For River. So, yeah. Oh, Mori. I have had a dude... It sounds mean, but I've had somebody who's... clearly they're like a child, or they're just kind of weird socially or something, but I have been bugged several times by somebody across a number of my videos in comments and stuff trying to bug me to play Omori. I kind of want to, though, because it's still an RPG horror, and I started out with RPG horror on this channel, so it's definitely not out of the question, but I have been bugged so furiously by one particular viewer of mine to play Omori, and they just kind of, they pop up, and they'll say something like, I really love your videos, I love Omori, and then they disappear for a week. And it's been going on for a while. It's really weird, but it's whatever. Like, but I have had the same person bug me to play Omori for God knows how long. I almost want to just do an Omori playthrough and just surprise the shit out of them. Something, something, Yuri, Night of Despair, something, something, piercing swords. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if there wasn't fan art that somebody did of the Doki Doki girls as all of the knights. But apparently you have to play through it twice to see everything. That doesn't shock me. It's one of those later hypes, and admittedly it's pretty good, but it's not excessively spectacular, but definitely a labor of love. That's the thing. People just kind of want experiences now that are more of a work of just out of the passion of a game company, rather than we're going to be diving... Oh, no. This one's gonna be a shitstorm, isn't it, guys? This is gonna be a shitstorm, isn't it, guys? Alright, let me get a drink of my water here. Because, wow, if I did that while I clicked on it, I would have spit my water out. The Mountain of Smiling Bodies, you say? This thing was capital AIDS cancer back in lobotomy. Like, holy crap. I like the new theme that's going on here for Aleph. You heard Miss Gabora, let's be fast. It'll be hell to deal with as it grows bigger. Ugh, this place reeks of filth.
We should take it down as quickly as possible. Alrighty, this is gonna be a shitstorm, guys. Upon taking a hit, deal 8 damage to the librarian that attacked it and inflict 1 fragile to him. Why? In Search of Corpses, prioritizes using Devour on allies, recovers 30% of current HP on defeating an ally. This is the one that Fly was saying you need to build for, isn't it? I get a feeling this is the one you said you need to build for. That is absolutely the worst thing I have ever heard of in my life. Each time the abnormality loses more than 25% of its max HP. 62, 87, 112. Melting corpses is spawned at the start of the next scene. And is that this thing right here? Yeah, thought so. Oh, man, this is awful. Transforms back to stage 1 when HP drops to 0. Transforms to stage 3 upon fully recovering HP. Terrifying laughter. At the start of the scene, gain 1 strength. Uses horrid screech every 2 scenes. I absolutely hate everything that's going on right now. So I guess intercept him from attacking the allies and beat the shit out of him. That's the only thing that I can imagine is you ignore these fuckos and just attack him to intercept, because all of those 3s that he rolls right there gives me a lot of hope that there's a high chance of interception. But I don't like him. I don't like him at all. This is pretty... This is not very cash money. Also, he's just stage 2. I believe it. Alright, gotcha. MOSB, basically me chasing my dogs after it saw an opportunity to... Yeah, Mountain of Smiling Bodies. Fair enough. Oh, dude, the 3rd warning seems wicked good right now. Might be the easiest amount of abnormality available for you. Fair enough. Hey, you know what? That's fine. This will either be a brick wall or express train through. Hello, Necro, by the way. How are you doing? And Leon Gun Wong. Hello, hello. You guys were ready for when warning 3 hit. I'm looking at all the comments on it right now. Gotcha. Boy, am I glad you never actually checked what you're fighting. That's why I want to make sure that you guys have my first reaction to, like, if it's something that I recognize when I click into it. That's why I don't click on them. But yeah, mountain time. If you don't pay attention, you can miss out on what's going on. That's what I got out of Omori. I need to find a new RPG horror to play soon, honestly, to put onto my channel. I haven't figured it out yet, but I was thinking either Luna Omori or maybe going back to an old one I wanted to play forever ago, which makes fun of a fairy tale, specifically Rapunzel. And I don't think that the actual RPG horror was called Rapunzel. That is a really interesting RPG horror because you go into it knowing it's an RPG horror, right? But it has 2 different endings to it. And if you just go through the game as is and just play through it normally, the ending is perfectly wholesome. It's perfectly normal and wholesome, and nothing horrific happens the whole entire game. And it thwarts your expectations because you're kind of like, alright, when's the bad thing going to happen? But nothing bad happens, right? But it's still creepy the whole entire time. And then if you go through the game and unlock everything and you explore things, then you start to see the horror aspect of the game, which was super interesting to me. Also, hello Koichi Komeiji, how are you doing today? I try my best to pronounce everybody's names appropriately. I hope that I nailed them. Also challenge yourself to get to stage 3 and then bring the thing down. Honestly, I'm probably not going to do that. I don't really challenge myself too much in this game because it always ends badly. I'm not that smart. It's a war of attrition. Yeah.
But why? Why would you do that? And I like that the ideal environment that the book is simulating for the mountain are the bloody hallways of Lobotomy Corporation. Truth! Fair enough. No, I get people that would challenge themselves for it. I'm just not one of them. That's really all. I don't really challenge myself too much in this game because my attention span is already shit as it is in this game. When you go off track, I always love that. Yeah, it only gets scary if you go off track. Yeah, exactly, which is something I've never really seen in another RPG horror. Like, my top RPG horror still to this day have to be Purgatory, which is amazing. It was very short, and it knows what it wanted to be, and it doubled down on it, and has probably one of the best endings I have ever seen in an RPG horror ever. It was one of the most conclusive endings to anything I have seen in my fucking life. Okay? It knew what it wanted to be, and it did what it needed to be very well. Other than Purgatory, Pitch Black was phenomenal. Great story, great character development across all the characters, and the whole entire plotline of that game is knowing where each character's role in the main storyline was. So it has nothing to do with what you're doing with the storyline, you're just trying to figure out the mystery of what the fuck happened to bring you to where you are in present time. My only issue with that game was that they do a really big plot dump towards the end of it, though, and you get so many names thrown at you that you can't tie it together very well unless you were really paying attention. But it was a very good game with just poor pacing towards the end of it. And then... No, that was Blank Dream. Pitch Black was done by a Game Jolt dev that's... While not exactly the newest concept in the world, that RPG horror changes its world around depending on if you have the flashlight on or off while you're exploring it. So, one of the best things about it was trying to figure out those puzzles through it. Like, it's such a normal thing that you do, turning your flashlight on and off in the game, that it's like using the whip in Castlevania. Like, it just becomes second nature after a while, and it just adds that much more dynamic to exploring. It's not running around finding keys and clicking on everything like most RPG horrors, so... Fucking Pitch Black was phenomenal. Unfortunately, it's only in demo state, though. Pretty long game, admittedly, but while it is indie, I'd say it's longer than Undertale, and depending on your exploration dedication, way longer. Probably. I don't know, Omori seems good to me. The Return of the Obra Dinn. I remember seeing that as a Joseph Anderson video, and that's about it. Born from the corpses of lobotomy and living off of them makes it feel like you're partly responsible for the scary stuff. Yeah, absolutely, Fly. Nope, given how it is sure to have escaped a number of times, the ideal environment would be for it to have escaped and consumed to its content. Truth. And I'm only using Undertale as a comparison because I don't have much experience with actual RPGs. That's fine, Hero Man. It works. The comparison works. You used something that a lot of people know. There is a comparison to be made there. That is absolutely fine. I think anything can be compared to anything if you provide a qualifier for it. And you did, which is length. My issue is when people try to dumb down a game, and they say stupid shit like, why do you like Starbound? It's just Terraria in space. That's a dumb thing to say. Why would you say that thing? That's the only time that comparisons piss me off. I like comparisons, but give me a qualifier for it. Don't worry about challenging yourself for it. It will challenge you. I believe it. Can be a joke because of the resists. Hello, Antian Slider. How are you doing, buddy? Since, well, he was Red Week. Buttercup, hello, how are you doing? Blunt Fatal. Don't forget the mountain was born quite literally in the halls of L-Corp. Yeah, truth. It's a detective-esque game, and it's amazing as long as you are blind coming in, because, like, it's the best real detective game. That is interesting. That is very interesting. That kind of also reminds me of another video game that Joseph Anderson did a thing on as well. Was, shit. What's it called? This is to gain charge, eh? The other thing that Joseph Anderson did, if memory serves me correctly, do we have, this is charged shield. Do you have a bonus in defense? You do. You have a lot of bonus in defense. Alright, cool. So golden opportunity would not be a bad option at all, then. And then Inner Ardor would be a very good option for you.
But, yeah, what the fuck was I saying? Because I completely dozed off on that one. Wow. Shit. I have completely dozed off on what my point was going to be there. Seize your chance. I might do seize your chance. I probably should, actually. But yeah, another video game that he had a review on that I recall was Observer? Observer? That was an interesting one. That was like a puzzle game that was entirely like where you look around and it uses like the environment to try to find like... It's literally all about perspective is the entire point of the game. If you can't find out the answer to a puzzle, you're not looking at it from the right perspective. It was very interesting. Kind of want to use energy shield, but it's not really gonna help me that much. I think I'm just gonna use ready up and only ready up. Let's see how bad this is. Oh, that actually wasn't as bad as I thought that was going to be. He just maxed twice, by the way. I just want you guys to know that. Damn, Blackford just laid down the law. Also, I should have probably checked his resistances, but it's because everything needs to be blunt in order to do damage for the most part, so... Gotcha. I mean, he's still taking the stagger damage, though, which isn't absolutely dreadful, but, yeah, I don't like this fight. I really don't. But, we're at least not having to deal with the Screech this time around, so I think we can do this one. Blah, 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 blah. Mountain go nom. That's about perfectly how to explain it, Buttercup. No real multiple choice moments or anything. You're given a list of things to figure out as well as specific events. You need to use that to, well, figure out everything yourself. Observer is great, but really difficult. Oh, yeah, the +1 strength. Gotcha. I thought he max rolled both of those. I was like, well, then. I did notice the ranged attacks, and I don't like it. It's kind of rude, actually. Depending on how things roll out in this fight, I may actually have to have people intercept those or actually give card attacks for it. Yes, Chalupa checked the message that I sent him. I will continue to jump on the bed despite the doctor's orders. And it's a picture of a monkey in a suit holding a fucking 1911. Yeah, so Bang 10 is not feeling too hot at the moment, but that's okay. What he needs, though, is energy. That would be fucking dope. So I'm just going to intercept one of these 1 costs over here with him, and then have somebody else... somebody else do shit. Yeah, these staggers are going to wind up happening here, and I'm not going to like it. So I think I'm going to use emotional turbulence here. Just because that block dice is going to be pretty significant there. You know what? Fuck it. I'll have her try to take that head on as best as she can. And then we just have to deal with these after that. I know Blackford was beating absolute ass last round with this golden opportunity card, so that could be super dope. There's also this, which would be very fucking potent, so maybe I'll just use Ripple. Nah, I can't do that. I have to do probably energy conversion after using golden opportunity, actually. Guidance of the Gears is an option, but I think I should use Defense Order. Yeah, I think I should use Defense Order and then maybe a Stigmatize. I don't know. I mean, gaining Smoke would be pretty dope too, but I don't need to gain the light. I need to draw is the problem. Yeah, that's right. I'm fighting for my life against abnormalities and shit, and here I am, just kind of, you know, dealing with it. All right, let's see how badly Gabora gets slapped. All right, she did that just fine. She did that perfectly fine. I mean, she took the damage, but if anybody is going to take the damage, she's probably the best bet. Blackford is kind of doing the best job that she could be doing right now, I'll be honest, so I'll take it. The staggering is going to be the worst part. So let's see what we got. Counter dice gain power. Counter dice inflict fragile, which is very good, but I don't know how super useful that'll be. At the start of the scene, gain strength based on the amount of damage taken the previous scene. That could be good. And then mark the first enemy that is attacked by this librarian after the page is selected. Oh, absolutely, we need that. So who is going to be the one marking? I say Blackford, because you're most likely going to be doing counters. So here's where shit hits the fan. Calling it now. Here's where shit hits the fan. Oh, she also has power, though, which is super dope. I think, though, I kind of need to use that. You, sir, are not in a good position. But I feel like I should use emotional turbulence. Who's the other one getting attacked? Ah, Blackford, son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't have any good anything here. Oh, boy. She has 0 good cards. Do we at least have, no. The answer is no. Got it. Are you emotion level 3 in Gabora? No. Well, shit's gonna hurt. You know, I honestly wish I could do that. But I can't. Do I have a 0 cost? Not really. This is gonna be a bad day, ain't it? This is about to be a bad day. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a very bad day. Oh yeah, this is a bad day. Luckily, the damage wasn't too bad, but... I mean, the stagger isn't the worst thing in the world, to be perfectly honest with you, just because you're not really going to be targeted while they're staggered, but the problem is we have less options. And somebody didn't wind up devouring, or stopping that devour from happening just now because of the staggers, so that's where the problem lies. I don't really know anybody who has a lot of counter dice, though, so I don't even know if that's, like, a super good thing to use, but I'm definitely going to be putting that on you, Eric. Oh, Devour isn't bad, it just, he didn't kill it, so that's the thing. Alright, cool, that's fine. So you actually don't need to intercept every Devour that is dealt. Yeah, that's not the worst thing in the world. I also have a laser beam. And I'm gonna take a look at chat right now while I'm panicking. Mountains fight is pretty easy. We shall see how easy it is. So long as RNG does not mess with you. Oh, it is a wonderful remix, and I love it. I like Second Warning better, but this is also really good. Yeah, honestly, Second Warning's probably the best one to me as well, so I feel that. Vengeance is your best bet. Prey works too, so long as you keep on focusing the mountain. Alright, Fox, gonna dip out here. Something needs my attention. Have a good stream. Take it easy, Dominion Hermit. It is always a pleasure having you by. So, take it easy, my friend. Latter two are your best ones to work to your advantage, especially if you use those corpses hitting you to your advantage. Truth. Could just stagger him with one sign. Panic rather calmly. I don't panic to where I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god, but I definitely am like, I panic, my version of panic is I question everything. And that's almost constantly, to be honest with you. So I guess I constantly panic, but I don't even know if that's accurate to say it that way now that I'm thinking about it, but that's just kind of how I roll with panic, I guess. We have no energy or light with Blackford right now, which is a bit of an issue. Though I think I'm gonna have her open up. I don't even know what to use here, man. Because she's going to get hit by that. And there's a good chance it's going to stagger her. I don't know, maybe not, actually. Maybe not. I think she'll be good. Even if she winds up getting staggered here, that still puts us in a really good position. And since we have Will of the Prescript, we actually have the draw page that I need right now with Mr. Eric Carver. It means I can actually just use Smoking Pipe, and we'll be good. Wow, that cat is loud right now. Holy crap. Could you don't, kitty? Yeah, she is, she's gonna do her thing. I can't close the door either right now, so you guys are gonna have to hear Kitty in the background yelling at the ceiling. She just kind of does that. I haven't really gotten down to the bottom of why that is. She's not in pain or anything either. She just does it. Like I don't really know what else to say other than that. Sometimes she just wants to be loud and demand attention and stuff. She probably knows I'm over here streaming and not paying attention to her, so she's like, look, I need head pats. Oh, there we go. There we go. Alright, that's about where I expected that to go, but that's fine. Because damage has been mitigated. Alright, cool. So we have a burst round that we can use right here. I can't use emotional turbulence though, which is unfortunate. Ah, son of a bitch. Do we have a singular strike on him? No, not really. I mean, my best bet would just be to literally just use Overcome Crisis and cross my fingers. Which I might do, because he has the most health. I might just completely attack it, to be honest with you. But he needs light. My homeboy needs light. Why couldn't I fill your dark soul with light? Anyway. 10 points to Gryffindor for anybody who knows that reference. You know what? I think I'm going to take one for the team for Blackford here, and maybe use Sturdy Defense with Bang. Because he is all topped up. He has his cards that he needs. He just needs to generate energy, which should be super easy to do. Well, actually, how many attacks are going at the stupid mountain right now? Not enough, to be honest with you. I might have to let Blackford take one for the team here. Wait, no. Use energy cycle first, then leap. There we go. Big brain. Don't you start max rolling me. I'll destroy you where you stand, swear to God. Eric is an evil bitch, baby. Alright, so we have good damage, not good enough though. And we have one character that has a low stagger resistance here, so things are looking decent at the moment. We just can't let that get to our heads with anything. So, as much as I like using Energy Beam here for this crap, I might not do that. What do we have for bonuses here? Just blocking bonuses, right? I mean, the block will be fine. It's the slash that I have an issue with, because that probably won't happen. Because the mass attack will hit first, right? And the block will probably succeed. Like, I don't see how that won't succeed. Actually, I don't think it's possible for it to not succeed unless it max rolls, so that's a really high chance of that going through. I could intercept this fucko right here, and then the block will stop one of those ranged attacks from going through. So, Blackford should be decent. That's to gain charge. Energy conversion would be to top myself off, which is what I will do with Blackford right there to get the 2 free hits. Do you have Health Hauler? You do not. That is unfortunate, but that also explains why... Oh, you have the Resuscitation. Never mind, Blackford's fine. She just needs to keep as much charge as she can then, so... If that's how we're gonna play it, let's just gain as much charge as humanly possible. I'm glad I checked that passive. I could do Inner Ardor and use it straight on his face, which I probably will do that, to be honest with you. So we'll do that. Things are looking decent at the moment. I should use Sturdy Defense, though, on this fucker. So that'll wind up being the first thing that happens. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ah, shit. Maybe I shouldn't, and maybe I should just use Emotional Turbulence. I was gonna use sturdy defense, but at least if I have the block dice, that would be better. You are also emotion level 3, so you gain extra strength. I just need to hope to God that her stupid freaking... that mass attack doesn't screw her over too badly, though, and we should be good. And as for you, Bangtan, you actually are set up marvelously right now. So we're gonna do that. And you need to use energy conversion right after that. Perfect. Alright, cool. So that should give a crap load of light. Alright, cool. We're in a good spot right now. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Except that wasn't as good as I thought it was. Damn it, never mind. That wasn't good at all, actually. Geb didn't completely fail it, though, which we're good. Excellent. The counter dice worked, bro. Everything worked according to plan. So now he's in phase 1, which blows a little bit. But we need to just keep things going the way that we have so far, right? Because, like, that's the whole entire... that's his whole shtick, is these things just don't freaking die. And, since he has less speed dice, we have a little less to worry about. We just need to keep everybody's health up, which... everybody's getting whittled down a little bit here, though, but I think we can do this. I think we can do this as we're doing it right now. He's cute. He is a little cute. Hashtag relatable. I'm glad that we relate on the same mental level when it comes to panicking, Sagarin. It was because I was reckless against the corpses and wound up low on HP at the end for it. Yeah, it's like Mountain of Smiling Bodies and Lobotomy. So long as you don't let it eat a lot of corpses, it shouldn't get too out of hand. It's easy, but it's definitely possible to do with most builds as long as you play strategically. It's honestly one of my more favorite fights because they keep pressure on you constantly with this fight, and I'm good with that. Very good for blocking the melty crybabies. Truth, and I need to use that to my advantage. Joined as soon as someone staggers. Nice. Weird thing about this fight is it arguably gets easier as it goes on. True. DMC 2, right? Close. DMC 1. That is specifically DMC 1, Dante to Trish. But I will give you the points anyway because that is a Devil May Cry line, yes. Also, hello, last 200, how you doing? Reminds me of D&D, or Dungeons 3, where the antagonist is a paladin that tries to make a drow who you wind up controlling to be good again. Says something similar to that as he tries to brainwash. We have a drow in our party in my campaign. He is not going to do anything good in any way, shape, or form. He's actually exactly like Efnel from Soulworker, which is actually pretty decent at heart. But the thing is, he will never admit it in any way, shape, or form, and will keep being like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want, and I just want to get paid for whatever that I'm doing. I don't give a shit about you in any way, shape, or form. But he really actually likes his companions that he's with, and he'll never admit it because he's too fucking stubborn. So, it's a lovely dynamic. Yeah, that's the Nemo build you made after you had a flash of inspiration when I reminded you of Yoon and Ares pages. I love it, man. It's such a good combat page, too. I'm glad that you told me that. Look at his passives. There are some key differences. Gotcha. Also, hello, Wower. How are you doing? Lil Murder Meatball. Borf, borf. You ever been murdered by a barking meatball? Divides into corpses when HP drops to 0. If all corpses are defeated within 3 scenes, the battle is won. Otherwise, the abnormality revives as stage 1. Upon revival, it will recover HP by the sum of the HP all remaining melting corpses had. Oh. So what you're telling me is the smart thing to do right here, the big brain thing to do would be to whittle everybody's health down. Got it. So, alright. Mr. Bang 10, you don't run any counter dice, my friend. So, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that then. What is that, a 5? No, it's not a 5. Good, so I can intercept it, which is exactly what I plan to do. So I'm gonna do that. Also, does this mean that he doesn't screech anymore? Yo, he doesn't scream anymore. Good. Alright, that's the best thing right there, because that's what was really fucking everybody up. Do you also have Mind Hauler? You do. You only have Mind Hauler, as a matter of fact, which is very good. I wonder if that counts to ranged pages. Does Rot count with ranged? I'm going to assume it does, but, also, I don't know if I should draw or just keep building his energy, but I think I'm gonna build energy. I say energy, but it's fucking charge is what it's called. Should I sturdy defense? I probably should. But that would be better. And that also gives me endurance. I don't even know if I actually I can't, because he's just going to be a dick. He's going to be a big old dick. That's to draw a page, though, so we'll do that. And I'm not going to worry about using anything else. So we got these things taken care of, I fucking suppose. And now we just got to deal with asshole in the back. I should use Stigmatize, but I'm not going to. And what is my best attack to use against Mr. Big Bad Meanie Face? Honestly, I probably should just energy beam it. Yeah, energy beam and then maybe energy conversion. Really the only option I've got. This is some epic music, though, and I love it. Pew pew! Oh, dude, it worked and it destroyed his dice, too. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Blackford is unfucking touchable. Alright, this is a cool one right here from what I remember. So, I'm putting that on you. Or I could put it on Blackford. Blackford would be a monster. But I'm going to put it on you, because you need to be able to win clashes too. So, that will give you the added strength. Alright, I'm starting to stress out again. Because these things need to die, and I don't know how to deal with that right now. Alright, so it would reset when he divides. Gotcha. So I'll just focus down on him. That's what I wanted to check. Only in regards to alignment. It's like saying pride. It's true, though. It really is. I mean, that's the best way to explain this thing, too. He's a murder meatball. Roddled Wealth was buffed from the Crimson Scar. I have no page. Used to be pretty weak. That's broken on Eugen. It kind of is when you think about it. That page is kind of broken on Eugen. Also, I think I'm going to continue with the using Blackford to counter. just because I need as much charge on her as humanly possible, then I can pretty much give her a full HP refill. So this will give me 5 charge, right? So it'll put me at 9, this will cost 3, it'll put me at 6. 6 is fine, it's like 30 HP, worst case scenario with things, so I'm good with that. You, Mr. Inner Ardor dude. You know, I probably should do seize your chance, but... Oh god, that is dreadful. I'm gonna smoking pipe with him, actually. So that'll give him light, regardless. I just need that draw page out of him. Maybe Inner Ardor as well. Fuck it. Now I just gotta deal with this guy. Which, again, seize your chance is the best way to go about it. I don't fucking want to do that, but... I don't really have a damn choice. Wait, hold on. Hold the phones. Where is all of my energy stuffs? Oh, you know what? Why don't I use energy conversion first? And then an absorb impact, maybe? No, I need to do something that gains, so we'll just do fucking screw it. I should keep energy shield, but it also isn't something that I'm countering with the defense with right now, so. Oh, there we go. Fortunately, that 8 damage hurts to see every time, man. Also, Blackford, anybody else noticing that she is just literally backhanding everybody? She is just telling everybody on this stage to just sleep on the fucking couch. Also, look at that fucking effect right there. Gabora is starting to look like her former self. Well, already. Alright, that was a lag and a half right there when I was trying to drag. Jesus. Alrighty. I don't want to hit that button again. This is why I just hover my mouse over everything all the time. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to let his stupid attacks go through to these assholes. Maybe something that spends energy? Yeah, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. And we'll do the one in the back. Yeah, I have like no draws on Gabora's dice, and it is painfully apparent. Yeah, stigmatize and extract fuel. Fuck it. Need more light anyway. Can always use more. Question is, how am I gonna deal with this fucko? I'm also already in need of light again, and I don't have the one page I need for it. I think it might be the, this might be the time where I just go full energy and try to get my health recharge, actually. I think I'm gonna do that.
So, who's the best counter, though, for fucking this nonsense? I actually might have to have Blackford counter it. Son of a bitch. Yeah, let's do it. It's either that or golden opportunity. Screw it. Golden opportunity. Damn, dude. She is just sitting there waiting for the resuscitate to kick in. I want it so bad. Anybody attacking Blackford? No? That's fucking shocking, dude. So we'll do that, and then I'll use Energy Cycle. She's gonna do most of the damage to this fucker, and then regenerate it, because I think she has Health Hauler. No, she doesn't. And then you need Will of the Prescript, so yeah, there you go, homie. So you're all set. I can have Gabora deal with the pesky fuckers in back. But again, that HP thing when they deal damage is such a dick move. I don't really see any other options though, so fuck it, I suppose. And then if he's still left standing afterwards, there you go. About how I saw that one going. And that. Screw you, meatball. So here's the thing that sucks. So I don't know how many turns it said that I have to murder these fuckers, but I do know that I have to murder these fuckers, so I guess let's get on with it. How much damage do they take? Equal damage to everything. Good. You have like the most health, Eric, so I think I'm gonna rely on you to do your thing. And then I guess get your light up. Oh, he's not gonna intercept shit. He actually would need to, he would need to attack that thing directly, eh? Well, alright. I mean, you two are the most healthy. Question is, though, now who the fuck is going to intercept this guy in the butt? Ah, you know what? That's what it's going to be. It's going to be Blackford. You do it. You got this, G. And I'll hold on to Feint for the next round and see who needs it. Blackford is just
Oh my god. I love it. It's so good. And the burn killed the other dude in front. Excellent. So hopefully we can deal with everything accordingly here. I might as well just take that with Gabora, to be honest with you, and do it as an interception. Because she is going to die from that clash no matter what. She's got exactly 8 health, so... Now we just need somebody to deal with that nonsense right there, which will probably be Ripple. I feel like Ripple is the best way to go about that. I can't do Ripple, son of a bitch. Alright. She has no charge, though, which is lame. Wait, that's a ranged page. Never mind, I know what we're gonna do. I can't, because I have to fucking... I would have to intercept it. Son of a bitch! Okay, now we just need enough attacks going towards the bottom. Which really just mostly relies on Bangtan right now. And I feel like Energy Cycle is the way to go here. So who needs more damage? Probably the bottom, right? I still feel like we're not going to get enough damage topside here. Because I'm kind of relying on that to hit really hard. But I think I'm going to trust it, and we'll just go bottom with, I guess, leap? We'll do leap. Pew pew! Bitch! Burrow went down swinging if she didn't even die, but... Alright, no, never mind, she's fine. She didn't go poof. Damn. Geb's a fucking fighter, dude. I mean, I knew that, but Geb's a fucking fighter. Holy shit. Well, alrighty.
역시 도서관에서는 예전 불가능계처럼 힘을 낼 수 없나?
Also, I'm not looking at the screen right now. You're gonna need to give me a second here. Keys to get him down, but also make sure you have enough light, pages, and HP to take down the corpses at the end. True. Rydims Deem, or Deum, how are you doing today, friendo? Good to see you. Used to be just one strength at 50% or lower. Yeah, it used to. Because of funny prank, but of course. Changed a bunch of Abno pages, including nerfs on some that were admittedly OP, but also buffing ones that were... Yeah, that's the thing, like, I love that extra power when clashing page that's on Malekith's floor, but that shit was broken. Would be perfect for Eugen combined with Ruddled Welts. No wonder such Abnos were chosen for Gabora similarities. Oh man, the team's in a tight spot because of the emotion level limit. Make sure to use light and pages wisely. A lot of people knew one of Geb's abnormality. Time to finish things, but remember, I'm told that my boy Nothing There isn't going to be here, which is really weird that there is no Nothing There, at least at the time that I had mentioned it in this game that's on Geb's floor. That was the one thing I would have guessed as an abnormality on a Gabora floor. Suppression would be exactly that. Also, hello, K-Senesis. God, I don't know how to fucking pronounce that properly, but K-Senesis, I guess. How you doing?
I want to die. 6 a.m. Need to go to work in 20 to 30 minutes. Well, ripperonis is all that I can say, man. I hope things wind up working out decent enough for you so you don't wind up getting yourself killed from sleep exhaustion or something, because that'd be bad. Chernobyl happened from sleep exhaustion, my friend. So, yeah, they will all fall to 25 HP, which is good. 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 Even the dead one come back at 25 HP. That one guy with low health should just energy beam for the one final blast. Oh, it was... I loved energy beam right there. That was a fucking good card, man. First time Mountain was out since they did not write the passive about to kill them in 3 turns. Holding on to charge because Nemo passive. Yes. That was the thing. I was holding on to all of my charge for that specifically. Because that charge was what... Honestly, I hate to say it, of everybody that was in that fight, though, honestly... Fucking Eric Carver and Blackford kind of carried that fight. So, they really did. They carried that fight. So, that Nemo page is amazing. Suddenly, Gaboro's below 25%, has 4 strength. Talk about good timing. At least killing hit doesn't deal the damage. Truth. Also, she gained 2 health. If anybody didn't notice that as well, I didn't think about that, but you gain health on the swing. So, I guess it depends on in the code. It would literally be down to the lines of code and how they're written. If you take damage after dealing damage to the abnormality or to the ads, I feel like Geb still would have lived even if she took the 8 damage, because she would have swung, hit, gained 2 health, hit 10 HP, then took the 8. I feel like that's how it's calculated, so I could be wrong, but it really depends on how that's calculated and where that is in the code. Unless they have an exception in there for when those happen for trades. But yeah, I'm surprised I got that on a first try. Fucking Aleph Abnormality, the most pain in the ass one in the game, in my opinion, too. Such as going back to 0 charge. Pretty much, you have to stock your charge to be able to get that. Aleph tier Abno pages. Oh right, they changed it so the Abno pages are now displayed after the cutscene, not sure why. Which was weird to me. I was like, what the hell? I'm hearing talking now. Magical Girl Angela. Nothing there, not in the game. That's tough. Nothing there will be in our spirit. I want to say something about that, but I'm worried Angela will have us both as targets no matter what I say. That is very possible, my friend. Okay, we have a cutscene to go on here, so... I guess you can't exert as much power as the Red Mist did in her prime.
그런 것 같다. 칼리와 내가 완전히 동일 인물이라 생각할 수도 없고.
Seems so. Can't see myself to be identical to Callie either.
붉은 안개 시절과 지금의 차이점이 뭐길래?
What's the big difference between the Red Mist and your present self, though?
난 에고를 자유롭게 사용해서 싸웠어.
I used to be able to freely wield ego.
아마 도시에서는 유일했을 거야.
I was probably the only one in the city who could manage such a feat.
마음에 따라 감응하는 무기와 갑옷. 누가 상상이나 했겠어?
Weapons and armor that resonate with your own heart. Who could have imagined that?
지금은 그 에고를 마음껏 사용하지 못하는 상태고.
Now I can't handle those ego as smoothly anymore.
사사들은 에고를 사용할 수 있잖아.
The librarians can use ego now, right?
그렇긴 하지. 하지만 완전히 에고를 통제해서 싸우는 건 아니야.
True, but we aren't in full control of the ego we use.
잠시 빌리는 거지. 환상체로부터.
We're just temporarily acquiring it from abnormalities.
그러니까 우리는 환상체라는 괴물이 힘을 빌려줘서 에고를 사용하고 있다는 거군.
So, if I'm getting this right, we're basically borrowing powers from the creatures we call abnormalities in the form of ego.
맞아. 제대로 사용할 수 있는 상태인 건 아니지.
That's pretty much it. We're not in the state to use them properly.
붉은 안개는 그걸 제대로 사용했고
And so the red mist was?
내가 휘두르던 검은 누군가로부터 추출한 에고였지만 입던 갑옷은 나만의 에고였어.
Well, the sword I used to wield was extracted from someone else, but the armor was my own ego.
그게 나에게 큰 힘을 줬고
Those empowered me greatly.
하긴 누가 알았겠어.
I mean, yeah, no one could have seen that coming.
마음과 감흥하는 무기와 갑옷이라니. 속수무책으로 썰려 나갔겠지.
Weapons and armor that resonate with the mind. Your foes must have been helpless against them.
그리 편한 물건만은 아니야. 말 그대로 정신과 감흥하니 되려 먹힐 수도 있거든.
It's not all that convenient. Since it literally links up with your mind, you risk getting consumed by it as well.
먹히면 뒤틀림이 발생하는 건가?
And the distortion happens if you're gobbled up by it?
아마 그렇게 되겠지.
I suppose so.
에고를 사용할 때마다 나에게 누군가 말을 걸어오는 것 같거든.
Big ol' reveal right there, just saying. That's quite the reveal, actually. Every time I used ego, it felt as if someone were talking to me.
나에게 너무 필요한 말이지만 듣고 싶지 않기도 해.
Especially considering the fact that Philip was called Ego Philip in that Oscar fight. So yeah, that is quite the reveal right there. They're what I desperately needed to hear, but at the same time, those words are things I don't want to listen to.
정신을 놓으면 휩쓸려서 떠내려갈 것만 같지.
It's like a raging torrent that could sweep my consciousness away if I ever lost my grip.
난 잘 모르겠군. 여기서 사용하는 에고는 네 말대로 엔젤라가 조종한 것일 테니.
Not sure I felt that. I guess it's because the ego we use here are adjusted by Angela in advance.
밖에 사람들이 에고를 사용할 때가 걱정이지.
I'm mostly worried about what may happen to people out there when they start manifesting and using ego.
그런 대단한 장비는 누구에게 받은 거야?
Who gave you access to such amazing gear anyway?
카르멘.
Carmen.
사람들을 치료하기 위해 연구를 진행했다는 사람이군.
Excuse me. The person who supposedly led the research to cure humanity, wasn't it?
맞아. 카르멘은 둥지 출신이었지만 뒷골목이든 둥지든 안 가리고 쑤시고 다니며 열변을 토했어.
Right. Carmen wasn't from the nest, but she wasn't afraid to hang around the back streets to give her fervent speech.
내가 볼 때는 곧 죽겠다 싶었지.
She wasn't gonna last long if she kept that up, if we're being honest.
그냥 내버려 둘 수가 없어서 도와준 건가?
So, you helped her out of pity or something?
그럴 리가. 대가 없는 자원봉사를 할 정도로 순진하진 않았어.
Not a chance. I wasn't naive enough to serve anyone without payment.
둥지 출신 주제에 도시의 무슨 고통을 안다고 저렇게 열성적인가 싶었던 것뿐이야.
I simply wondered what exactly a nest dweller would know about the agonies of the city to be so passionate about the matter.
도시에서 반복하는 아픔을 끊을 수 있다는 허무맹랑한 소리를 잘도 떠벌렸으니까.
She brazenly went on about her absurd claim that she can break the ever-repeating cycle of suffering that goes on in the city.
그래서 화가 났어. 저런 샌님이 대체 뭘 안다고 저럴까 하면서.
I got mad that some dweeb was spouting off like she understood everything.
카르멘에게 직접 쏘아붙였지. 네가 뒷골목의 아픔에 대해 얼마나 알았어. 그리 떠들어대느냐고.
So I grabbed her and snapped at her. How dare you rattle on like that? How do you know about the pain and suffering of people in the back streets go through? I yelled.
울상이라도 지울 줄 알았더니 되레 카르멘은 뻔뻔하게도 나에게 되묻더군.
I thought Carmen would whimper on the verge of tears, but she instead kept a straight face and retorted with a question.
넌 둥지의 아픔에 대해서 얼마나 아느냐고.
What do you know about the pain in the nest, then?
둥지의 아픔에 대해 알려줄 테니 자신에게 뒷골목의 고통을 알려달라고.
She said she'll tell me all about the pain and agony of the nest, so I should teach her about the suffering of the back streets in return.
참으로 뻔뻔했어. 힘도 없이 나대는 게 마음에 들지도 않았고.
She was so shameless. I didn't like how she acted so brash for someone so weak.
하지만 그 눈과 목소리에는 힘이 있었지.
Her eyes and voice, on the other hand, they carried a certain energy.
힘이 없는 사람이라도 마음 먹기에 따라 머리까지 능히 베어낼 힘을 얻을 거라며.
She said even the weakest people could gain the power to easily topple the head if they set their mind to it.
자신이 그 힘과 마음을 얻게 하는 치료를 하겠다고.
That she will give everyone the therapy to grant such power and mindset.
관심 있으면 와보라며 명함을 줬지.
She gave me her card, telling me to come over if I was interested.
그때 넌 색을 부여받기 전이었나?
That was before you got assigned a color, right?
맞아. 2급 해결사였어.
Yep, I was a grade 2 back then.
2급 해결사인데도 그런 사이비 같은 소리에 홀렸다고?
You bought into her borderline cultist hooey, despite being a grade 2?
아니, 오히려 그랬어요. 숱하게 사기꾼을 만나봤지만 카르멘만은 달랐거든.
No, I believed her because exactly... fucking name. No, I believed her because I was that experienced, actually. I'd met countless swindlers and hacks in my life, but something about Carmen told me she wasn't one of them. Let me silence the fuck out of my phone here.
아, 대체 어떤 사람이었던 거야?
Nothing like reading a serious dialogue in a cutscene, and then it gets cut off by a fucking chocobo quip. Just what kind of person was she?
그래서 난 카르멘에게 걸어보기로 했어.
Anyways, I decided to count on Carmen.
이 사람만 지켜낸다면 세상이 바뀔 수 있을지도 모른다고.
If I could protect this person, maybe this world might change.
나와 같은 아픔을 겪는 사람들이 한 명이라도 적어질 수 있다고.
Maybe fewer people would have to suffer the same kind of pain I did.
그래서 자선 사업 수준으로 해결사 일을 해온 거군.
That's why you worked for practically free, huh?
말도 안 되는 전설을 써내려 가면서 색도 부여받고.
All the while you did unbelievable things, becoming a living legend and getting a color.
그런 건 다 부수적인 거지.
Those were just extras.
내가 하는 일 자체에 의미가 있는 거니까.
Doing meaningful work was enough for me.
역시 강하네. 그리고 바보 같아.
You sure are strong, and stupidly honest.
그런 소리 많이 들었다.
Heard that a lot.
이런저런 이야기 해줘서 고마워.
Thanks for the stories, by the way.
담배라도 한 대 피고 갈래?
How about a cig?
됐네요. 할 일이 아직 남아서 말이야.
No thanks. Still got loads of work to do. Alrighty, what do we got for pages here? For the duration of the act, recover 20% of max HP upon defeating an enemy. So you eat bodies. At the start of the scene, gain strength based on the amount of HP the librarian has recovered this act, per 10% HP healed. Jesus. Alright, so you also gain strength from it. That's fucked up. When the librarian takes a hit while their HP is at 50% or lower, a screech bursts out at a 50% chance, up to 3 times per scene, deals stagger damage to all enemies, and inflicts fragile. Damn, dude. And then that literally is an amazing card to throw on Eugen right there, too. All librarians except the selected one are immediately killed when this page is chosen. Actually, maybe not, just because when you play as Eugen, right, when you have Eugen's page rolling, the whole entire kind of thing about Eugen's page is you need that health that you have with Eugen to run the page, so even if you're running like Health Hauler, you kind of want to try to stay under that 25% threshold, usually, for things. But that being said, regardless, the point of Eugen's page, ideally when you're running it anyway, is you're trying to build it so that you aren't getting hit. So usually, like, a really good Eugen player, it's obviously not going to happen that way all the time, but like on paper, like a good Eugen setup, what you do is you're trying to not take any damage whatsoever. So Laughter, I feel like, actually wouldn't be that great on Eugen for that alone, just because it requires the risk of getting hits, which is not something that you ideally want to do as a Eugen. And then this last one, all librarians except the selected one are immediately killed when this page is chosen. The selected librarian gains... what? Max light capacity, light restoration, strength, protection, and haste proportional to the number... what? What? The fuck? Nani desune? What the fuck? I kind of want to use that just to say that I've used it. That's... what the fuck? Bruh, that is fervent beats on crack. Like, literally, that is the Fervent Beats Abnormality page, but on crack cocaine. Like, what the fuck? Also, take care, Fly. I just caught that as I was going through there. My theory about the synchronized egro might hold water. Really good clarification on the Red Mist's ego. I think a lot of people were unsure until they specified it was the armor here. Truth. Better reveal later. Ooh. Of how Philip became the crying children so suddenly. Truth. Yeah, I like that reveal a lot, actually. What would my ego be? I don't know. Probably a coffee mug for my melee weapon, and then as for my armor, I don't know. Some kind of real... I mean, it pretty much would just be my button-up suit that my model uses right there. That's probably what it would be. Just be a button-up and a fucking loose tie. Pair of dress pants. That's about it. I don't really know what else to say. Just my weapon would absolutely be a coffee mug, though. Either that or like a war violin. It'd be a violin with a sniper rifle scope on the side of it. Ah, the bard's best weapon. If there's a comic series about Gabora's rise to becoming a color from rags, let alone a game on that, I would be all for it. Yeah, make like a Ruby Grim Eclipse spin-off game, but it's just Gabora beating the shit out of people. I would play it. Indeed, but yeah, take it easy, Fly, if you're still here, but you're probably not. Any HP recovered, not just the one from absorption. Yeah, that's insanity, though, too. Also, they're an achievement where you need to proc Mountain of Corpses and win. One-man army. I mean, truth, that's why people do the one-man army builds on Gabora's floor for things, because I know that people have been saying that a lot of people like running one-man army floors on Gabora. And that basically makes all the sense in the world right there. The power of friendship. It's the power of eating your friends, my friend. Ultimate Lone Fixer card. I believe it. The solo Abno. Absorption Gabora is broken. My kingdom for an edit button. Sacrifices must be made. I agree. Hello, William Rodamski. How you doing today? Roland is now overthrown as the solo floor. Yes. Tiff also has a pretty broken solo strat, too. Oh, I can't wait until I see it. But it linked to the number of absorbed librarians. Yep, kill the mountain, become the mountain. Absolutely. That's how this works. Once you kill it, you eat it, and then you absorb its power. That is how the belief works. That is how it goes. That is the way. Anyway. There are still plenty of uses for Roland Flores solo. Oh, I believe it. Pretty hard to get unless you work hard to get a lot of negative emotions for everyone. If you look for the Abno card collection, yeah. Sounds about right. What would your distortion be? Clarify what you mean by distortion. I guess like a weird, fucked up thing about like what would happen if there was a distortion that I don't know. I would be a coffee tsunami. There we go. I am a tsunami of coffee. And my first victim would probably be Chesed. Need a baller vest in your shirt and tie. I like that a lot. Search a Lupa Monkey, you get one smug look from me right there. There you go. You get a smile. Become Rimuru. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, by the way, because I fucking love that anime. It's so good. Ricky just got to the third from the last episode. The next episode is like, and I don't want to say anything for anybody who hasn't seen the show though, but the next episode is like the big part, and I can say this because you have no idea what I'm talking about either for anybody watching too, but like it's the big turning point with the king and stuff right before shit hits the fan. And he's just waiting for everything to come to the dub before he starts watching it. And I'm like, dude, just watch the fucking sub already because you're annoying me that I have nobody that I can talk about the ending of this shit with. That time that I got reincarnated as a slime. That's the name of the anime. Coffee slime. I would absolutely be a coffee slime. And I think I'm going to do Bina Abnormality. I'm done, a coffee tsunami, wow. Yup, I fucking love that show. I've been on a binge, and I might do a tear about it on a video later on down the line, guys, but I've binged 3 animus in the last 2 or 3 weeks while I am at my buddy Ricky's house, and the first one that we binged was literally all 36 episodes of Overlord, practically in a 24-hour time frame, too. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I slept for like 4 hours, and then we woke up and went back to watching it after I drank coffee. I slept for like 4 or 5 hours, and we went back to watching Overlord. I had like 8 episodes left. So I've seen Overlord all the way through. Overlord is great, and it hits me in a lot of the fucking feels, because that's just very relatable as somebody who has spent a lot of time in MMO games. Like, the concept of remembering everything that you did in an MMO as it's, like, shutting down. Like, that concept actually literally made me sad, because that's how I feel every day whenever that I talk about the longevity of how, like, when Final Fantasy XI will die. Because that is a game that I have played, and Cameron, if you guys do not know, Javon of Destruct, Javon/Cameron, my best buddy that I reference all the time that I have talked to on stream and stuff, I met him through Final Fantasy XI over a decade ago. So, yeah. Now he lives in the same state as me, so we hang out, but, like, just as a concept right there, right? I've binged Overlord all the way through. The next one we watched was, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I saw that one all the way through, start to finish. I wrapped up the remainder of it when I got home, though. I didn't watch it all at his place, but we watched that afterwards. That was also dope. It does a really good attack on your expectations as well, a little bit in that, because, like, it starts out where it's like, oh, cool, alright, so it's gonna be one of those kind of things where, like, everybody's friends, and then you realize after a while that, oh, right, the world doesn't work that way, and people are assholes, and then shit gets complicated after a while, and it gets so much more in-depth, and I love it. So that was also a really good show. And then the last thing that I have recently binged, most recently at his house, was... what the hell is it called? What was it called? I think it was about 13. He's also shown me how not to summon a Demon Lord too, but I haven't seen that all the way through. So that one I'm working on. What the fuck did I just watch? Oh, Rising of the Shield Hero. That show is dope as fuck. I love Rising of the Shield Hero. The only thing that I hate is that they kind of fucking character assassinate people that are supposed to be smart, though, just to give drama in the show, and then you remember that you're watching an anime and things just happen conveniently to give you a reason to give a fuck over certain things to happen a certain way, even if it's super dumb for characters to do that and it doesn't make actual sense. Like, they have one character in there, Ren, and you'll know when you get to watching that. People who have seen Rising of the Shield Hero know exactly what I'm gonna fucking say, probably, but, like, Ren is a character that's one of the main characters in that show as well, who's portrayed as, like, calm, cool, collected, and actually an intellectual that can say that he's wrong, versus most of the other cast that you wind up seeing in the show, right? And he's actually kind of fucking smart. He's just... shit lapses out of his head sometimes, and I can't get into that one without going into spoiler territory, though, but, like, he's actually kind of fucking smart and shows promise as a character to pay attention to the protagonist and listen to what he's saying, but they constantly character assassinate him, and he's suddenly accusing the main character of doing something just out of what some random person tells them that's a pathological liar for some reason. And it just, he never puts the pieces together of, like, maybe I'm being lied to because last time he was telling the truth. Like, I don't know, it's just, it's so dumb the way that they do that in that show. Like, they just kind of character assassinate people like him for no fucking reason. And everybody's a dimwit other than, like, the main character and his entourage, which is fucking retarded, but it's whatever. But other than that, Rising of the Shield Hero was amazing. Also, the soundtrack in Rising of the Shield Hero was god tier. So, now I gotta catch up on chat because I went on a tear and I wasn't looking at anything. Raven Grandma. I thought that we called her Sadist Granny. Time to shine. Being an abnormality will just put you to despair, probably. Keep pretending that I'm the Ricky you're talking about. You can keep doing it all that you want, Ricky Shoe. Ah, yes, wife floor time. Small punishment bird, definitely a barbarian, don't know what subclass. I agree. Overpowerful protag stuff better. It shifts the emotional focus on the people incapacitated by an out-of-context problem rather than being a pure... Yeah, absolutely, that's the thing. It doesn't really focus so much on, like, the actual main character being overpowered, and you should love the main character because they're overpowered. Like, they kinda, like... The main character in Overlord is kinda just there because you need the protagonist there. And that's basically what he is. He's just kind of a MacGuffin to keep the plot moving forward, and it's kind of around everything else. Honestly, you like the NPCs that become characters and stuff. That's mildly spoilery, but not really. I realized my wording was fucking stupid right there as it came out of my mouth, but it's fine. But, like, you kind of care more about the other characters. You find it out in the first episode, guys. It's really not that big a spoiler. But, like, they're way more interesting than anyone the fuck else in the show. By far. There's a reasoning why Albedo is like one of the top waifu characters of an anime in God knows how long. Like right behind 02, so... Actually, I think she had a higher number than 02 last time I checked that chart. I don't fucking remember. Based off of just some random video I saw, by the way. This is not at all like specific God tier information from somebody who knows what they're talking about. Badass Grandpa Admo as well. Yes, we do. They can be right, but at least be countered rather easily. Oh, the How Not to Summon a Demon Lord has a very interesting scene. It has several interesting scenes, Jimmy McGee. It is one of those animes that I do not recommend that you watch without headphones on. It's one of those kind of things. Hakma fights are weird, and that's all I'll say for now. That doesn't shock me. Shield Hero is meh. A lot of the time the show dumbs people down so now Fumi can shine. Exactly. Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, it's like the one thing that I really hate about that show. The best thing that I like about Shield Hero, though, and why it hits home for me really well, is, as I had mentioned earlier in the stream, I am a sucker for any kind of plotline or story where it defies expectations, like that immediately elevates it to like an 11 to me 9 times out of 10. If it's done well, that is. And that's what that show does really well. You're like, oh, cool, fantasy anime. You summon heroes. The heroes gotta do heroic things. And then they just slap you in the face in the first episode with, no, that's not what we're doing here. And I thought that that was fucking amazingly well done. I love that kind of shit in anything. I love when you see something that seems to fit a certain genre or type, or whatever, just archetype of what it's supposed to be, and then they just shit on it right at the get-go, and go, would you like to know more? Fuck yeah, I would like to know more. Hey, yeah, pretty much. Oh no, there is a reason it's called Conflict Ball, because contention between characters even when there's no reason. Exactly. It's just, honestly, it's just poor writing, the way that that works out that way. I try not to really dig too hard into it when it comes to anime, because I don't really go to anime specifically for exclusively well-written fucking Nobel... It wouldn't be a Nobel Peace Prize you would get from it, though, but you guys know what I mean. Like, I don't expect award-winning writing for anime. I just want something that scratches the itch. That's really about it, and it's usually fantasy-style stuff that does it for me with anime. But the writing in Shield Hero does piss me off with that, where it is one of those animes as you go through it where you're like, yeah, this is 110% an anime. There's no fucking doubt in your mind when you're going through it, just because of the way that the writing works out, though. It's infinitely better than Sword Art Online writing, at least, though, and you can give a shit about the characters. There's development and stuff, but, like, yeah, it's just one of those kind of things, man. Sadist granny. I've heard it all. Project Moon has all of the one granny that looks like a granny. The rest are, well, just replace an M in a certain word with G and we'll leave it there. Fair enough. Do you have an opinion on redo of the healer? Personally, I think it's a steaming pile, but not for either side of the controversy. Redo of the healer? Why does that sound familiar? I have not seen redo of the healer. It also seems to have really bad rankings, and that says a thing. I have never looked up an anime and seen it below an 8 stars out of 10. This is sitting at 6.3 on IMDb right now. So that probably tells you everything that you need to fucking know about that show. I don't know, I like to... Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love to slash and shit on writing and TV shows and anime and stuff like that, though, but at the same exact time, I can still enjoy it for what it is. I'll just tell people afterwards where I'm like, the writing pisses me off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Overlord, for example, as much as I really enjoy Overlord, and as much as Overlord knows what it wants to be and just doubles down on that, like, it doesn't try to do anything that it's not trying to do, thank fuck. But, like, Overlord with its overpowered characters and stuff like that, right? My thing that I have told people, and this is more just a subjective take on it, though, is I don't really like Overlord just because it bores me with the fights, because you know how the fights are going to turn out. It's just one of those kind of things. And then you're just wondering, alright, cool, so this person's going to win, but just get it over with already so that I can see what's going to happen in the next episode that's the result of this fight. So, that's the only thing I have as a really big criticism that I don't like in that show, is it's horrendously predictable, and they kind of just pull shit out of left field to further the plot, and that's really the only thing that they can do to subvert your expectations and to get you interested on, like, the next arc that happens in Overlord, is they kind of just pull a character or an event out of nowhere. Like the end of that first season where you wind up fucking with the I'm just gonna say the Shaltir fight, okay? So that anybody who hasn't seen it doesn't get spoiled on anything. Like that right there, you don't have any knowledge that that's a thing that could happen in that world in any way, shape, or form. It just gets MacGuffined into it because, wow, that's something I didn't expect. And that's about it, really. That's like my only real criticism I have with Overlord, is the pacing is usually like that. They just pull something out of nowhere, and now this is a problem, and you're like, oh, that would have been cool to know that that could have happened before, but it's an anime. That's just usually how that fucking works. Redo of Healer is messed up in every way possible, really? Brings in more of a female audience than males, really weird. Huh. Anime version of a shock snuff video, and the actual plot reads like some of the fan fiction I made when I was 12. That is horrendous. Alright. It is meant to be like Rise of the Shield Hero, but only way worse in terms of having loads of messed up stuff. Oh, yeah, gotcha. But as the entire anime, the one scene in Goblin Slayer. Yeah, the one that got like a shitload of bad press, and then when I finally watched Goblin Slayer, I actually was looking at the screen like, this is what people were pissy about? Goblin Slayer was not that bad, like in any way, shape, or form, to be honest with you. I actually really like Goblin Slayer. I especially like the fact that every character is completely unnamed other than class. It didn't even sink in until Ricky pointed it out to me, actually. I really liked Goblin Slayer, to be honest with you. I did not think that that was too bad at all. And I love it, too, because they did the usual trope, one of my favorite tropes for heroes they did with Goblin Slayer as well, where Goblin Slayer isn't a hero because he is the chosen one, or because he's exceptionally strong in any department, or anything of the sort. Goblin Hero is the fucking protagonist and the hero of the story because he's just the one cuck that showed up that had the tools for the job. He just happened to be in the right spot. That's really about it. That, and there's the gods favoring thing that you find out later on down the line for it, though. But, like, there's a reasoning, but not really. but, like, quite literally the way that they explain it away is, like, in D&D terms. Basically, Goblin Slayer is just an unlucky motherfucker that found himself in just the right spot and he rolled a nat 20. That, like, quite literally is how they explain it, too. Like... hang on. Where am I at here? Read over healer. Yeah, got a bunch of drama because it's one of those got kicked out of the party and went back in time, so I RP'd all the girls and brutally tortured all the guys' revenge fantasies. Oh, fun. Sounds like a fucking fantastic plotline. Absolutely. Not weird that extreme content is more popular around females. A lot of personal fiction clients want violent, often stories, just like men, but it's less socially acceptable. Sounds about right. An unoriginal and for a very specific demographic who, to be honest, would be better off going with, yeah, probably. AKA, it's rather trash. Goblin Slayer is great. Love that anime and manga. Good anime, even with the movie. And this coming from someone who's read 500 chapters of Korean LN in the last 6 days. Very good. A classic deconstruction. The world works like what a real fantasy world would look like. Grimguard. That's the thing. It's like, it's kind of dark, too. It almost has a Berserk feel to it, and I know that that's one of those... Berserk is one of those things, and I'm not saying it just because the guy who fucking wrote it passed away either, and it's fresh in my mind, but, like... Berserk is one of those things, hilariously, just like Dark Souls, where everything gets fucking compared to it as a basis, but that's because it's that good at what it does. It's just that much of a staple design that people look at and they're like, oh, that one they don't even really need to know too much anime, and somebody could probably be like, that one thing, the dude with the big Berserk, yeah, that. It's like one of those kind of things, like, you know what I mean? It's just something that we can all, it's like the Undertale comparison that Hero Man did earlier. You don't even need to know many video games, but you know fucking Undertale, right? So, I feel that's how Berserk is when it comes to dark storytelling. I actually took the time to study the goblins down to the smallest detail. That's the thing, too. Like, that actually goes into detail about it, and it gives you some background on shit. Like, that fucking one scene in the first episode of it actually was plot relevant, is the thing. It wasn't just like a fan service thing that they did just for the sake of... I'm still smiling, aren't I? It wasn't just a thing that was done just because, hey, we want some messed up shit to happen and we want you to feel uncomfortable, like what they do, and I'm not saying it as a bad thing, but like what they do with Attack on Titan, right? Like, it isn't just in there where it's like, wow, this is supposed to be for shock and awe, or it's not in there because we want it to be edgy. It's there because it actually serves a plot-specific purpose to where the fuck the goblins come from. That's literally what that... And they never address it again. That's the thing, they never fucking bring that up again, really. At least to the detail that they did in the first episode. Like, they wanted to slap you in the face with that and be like, yo, this is what happens. Goblins are fucked up. Like, it served its purpose. Surprising how this atrocious anime went under the radar while interspecies reviewer got shat on despite being 200 times better for an EG anime. Doesn't shock me either. I love my anime about a ranger who went full on, his favorite enemy being goblins. That's beautiful. Those social justice... Yeah, it happens, unfortunately. It's kind of a thing that happens. Not to mention, interspecies reviewer actually has some interesting lore despite what it mainly is. Just fun to watch, even if it didn't have the EG parts, because the characters itself... Hey, I've seen some things that do have, like, EG shit to it, though, that I actually thought was genuinely fucking interesting, too. Like, what's a show that I have seen that's kind of like that? Because of the fact that Ricky is the way that he is. I remember him showing me Monster Musume, for example, forever ago. I actually do really like Monster Musume. I actually do like that show. I really do. It's fucking atrocious and a garbage fire in that it is exactly what you fucking think that Monster Musume is. It is not at all unique, really, in any such way, to be honest with you. But Monster Musume, I actually really like that one. I don't fucking like Mia at all, really, as a character, though. I'll be honest with you. The Dullahan is too chuny for me, but she's fucking kind of cool. Kind of like her. Her mechanics are dope, but by all means, if you want to have the hots for a Dullahan, there's a much cooler Dullahan that came out in anime far before Monster Musume, and it is called Durarara, and the lady with the biker helmet with the cat biker helmet that rides the motorcycle in Durarara is probably the best Dullahan that you will actually see in an anime, period. Like, that is probably one of the best portrayals I have seen. Not out of accuracy, but just because she's just a fucking likable character. To make more goblins, what if people rape goblins? Listen, Chalupa, listen. We don't need to think about that. Exactly, Spider Lady is one of the most likable characters on that. Honestly, I love the Spider Lady. The slime is a slime. I don't really know what more to say about Sue the Slime, other than that. I will never be able to look at the voice actress that does Euripie from Angel Beats ever again, because she does the voice of Poppy the Harpy, and I will never unhear that in my head whenever that I watch Angel Beats through again. I can never unhear that. I fucking love that voice actress, though. I love her to death. I just can't unhear Poppy the Harpy now. Monmusu, one of the many things that I can track to making me realize that I was a Monster Girl enthusiast. You missed a very interesting conversation, Eric Carver. Also, you carried your floor in an Abnormality battle a little while ago, so congratulations, my friend. We also spiked at 49 viewers at some point earlier, guys. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. It's on my statistics. Good old ice cream part. We don't talk about the ice cream part. It's not Made in Abyss and Made Dragon, which get a pass by the public but suffer from the Watsuki problem. Yeah. That's the thing, like, honestly, just the actual mechanics and the way that the world and everything works with Monster Musume, I like that. I like that being, like, an issue and people find political things in shows and stuff kind of boring by default, just because when it comes to like a political problem and something, their mind immediately shuts down and they kind of compare it to reality. And they're like, oh no, I don't want to fuck with that. But like, you can actually make political problems as a storytelling element fun and enjoyable in another world, because it kind of makes it that much more grounded. Like, for example, my favorite thing about Final Fantasy XII is exactly that. People don't fucking talk about Final Fantasy XII as a Final Fantasy whatsoever, but that's like my favorite Final Fantasy of all time ever fucking created, period. Not just because of the mechanics, not just because it is really well polished and I like the combat system. Yeah, you can make the game play itself, but you don't have to, necessarily. I do enjoy the fact, though, that I can set my characters up to automatically heal, and I don't die instantly because I didn't pay attention or something, like, you know what I mean? I do like that aspect in the Gambit system in Final Fantasy XII. That's not why I, like, really enjoy the game. I just love the world, the characters and stuff. And they kept the party really tight and compact in that game. And there's never really, like, most people tend to have, like, a party of 3 for some reason in 12, which doesn't fucking make sense to me. But, like, I've never not used a character in Final Fantasy XII. I find myself using all of the characters. There's not like Kamari or Kina from Final Fantasy 9 and 10 that you put on the back burner and you never use them, or Ketchi. I know his name is spelled Katesith, but it is a Ketchi. That is how that is actually pronounced in Irish mythology. But even though you have fucking those characters that you never touch, like, I feel like you use every character in 12, and you actually care about the plotline more. They don't really, like, it's kind of complicated, but kind of not when you pay attention. And I love that you can equally like people on the Arcadia side of the fence, as well as the people in the country where everything starts out that your characters are from. Like, you like people from both ends of the fence, and people that are not them. And everybody's kind of in a gray zone. It's just way more realistic. And again, just the political problem of the war, the judges, and the lords, Larsa, and fucking Vayne, and everything else going on as you're going through Final Fantasy XII. It's fucking interesting. I don't understand how people don't like the story of 12. People always shit on it too, because they're just like, oh, well, there's no, like, romance specifically in it that they throw in front of your face or anything, like Aerith and Cloud. And I'm like, but there are other concepts that are also cool and compelling that isn't a love story, though. Like, not everything needs to be a love story, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I feel like not many people talk about how good 12 is as a Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 9 as well, but I feel a lot of people do really like 9, they just don't vocalize about it as much. Like, nobody fucking talks about 12 for some reason, and I'm like, why? It's like one of the best fucking stories and worlds in a Final Fantasy game I've ever seen. Ivalice is one of the best fucking Final Fantasy universes ever written. Absolutely, I agree, Marcus Williams. It's about the world building part of it that I love. Exactly, because you're not in that world and you want to know more about the world, and that's how you can make the politics enjoyable. I agree. Imperialism, colonialism, and the morality of war and natural resource exploitation in a way that means something, but people sleep on it so much. Exactly. Wouldn't be surprised if people shut off their heads in any sort of politics in games. Yeah. I've never really cared for Final Fantasy, other than that I started with 14 like 1 week ago. Hey, 14 story is dope, dude. 14 story is really dope. If there's one strong point about Final Fantasy 14, it is the plotline. Do not play that game specifically because you want to play an MMO and sink your teeth into it. You have to like the story in 14 if you're going to get anywhere. That being said, let's go ahead and take a spin in Sadist Grandma's world. Because I'm kind of wasting some valuable screen time I could be using while playing, like, Satisfactory or something and talking to you guys about silly shit. So. Alright, Jimmy McGee, you're up. What page would you like your nugget to use? Jimmy, you get the choice. What would you like to use? You can use Don Juan's page, which has all of that stuff down there. I think Don Juan is, yeah, you have best choice, Mind Hauler, a little bit of defense, and keeping in stride to be able to keep yourself sustained a little bit, so you have like that extra bonus for emotions. I also set up Nemo's page, so you can use the giant I-beam, and it's basically Martini's page, but with slightly different setup, as well as a ton of defensive capability with Art of Defense, Yun's Hunch, Liquefied Flesh, and Your Shield. So you will be a tank and a half that will never die because of resuscitation, and you can laser beam people. There's not much to argue there, my friend. We also have, of course, Philip's page. So I don't know if you want to be a fire bro, you can be a fire bro as well. Rose is still a thing. I still have my Martini page built. We have fucking, I don't know where it is right now, but there's a blue page somewhere. Yeah, the Index Proselyte, yes. So we have an Index Proselyte built right here. So that's always fun, which has Grace of the Prescript as well as Health Hauler, Mind Hauler, Speed, and Puffy Broom. So that would be a pretty dope card too. It's up to you, my dude. How do you want to run your set right now? Would like to know. Bina time. Woo! I love Bina. I love Sadist Granny. I'm not even into that archetype, I'm not gonna lie. Although if anybody saw my my short that I did on all of the girls' frontline 4-star assault rifles, I gotta be honest with you, SOP Mod 2 is almost, like, I still am gonna continue to describe her this way until the end of time. SOP 2 from Girls Frontline is like a gateway drug into the yandere trope. She really is. She is like the only yandere that I feel that anybody would be like, that is wife material. Anybody. Even if you're not into yandere tropes in any way, shape, or form, because she just has so much other shit going for her. And she's actually not dangerous to you, even though she's a pseudo yandere. Sidetrack. Oh, it's all good, Marcus Williams. I am totally down with sidetracking. I am totally down with sidetracking. You are the chosen one, Jimmy McGee. Need to run and get stuff done. Oh, absolutely. Take it easy, Chalupa. I love you, my dude. You are You are my buddy. I love you. You will accept my love, Mr. Chalupa. Also, we have somebody in the new member zone that I just realized. Now, let me assign you a role, Scarlet Ailer. I didn't even realize that. I need to start paying attention to my new member zone while I'm streaming from here on in. But, the role has been assigned, my friend. Welcome to the server. Also, the main reasoning why I'm saying to you guys, why I love Rising of the Shield Hero, is you watch Rising of the Shield Hero specifically for Raftalia. And I don't care what anybody says. Even if you don't like the way that the world is, how stupid people are, and how much of an anime that it is, just to over-glorify Naofumi and the protagonist and stuff, you kind of watch that show for Raftalia. And I'll stand by that. You kind of watch it specifically for her. The way that that character is written is one of the most well-written characters I've seen in a long fucking time, honestly. That is one of the most well-written anime characters I've seen in a while. I probably could find, like, holes and stuff, like, writing-wise to her character, but just, in my opinion, that is one of the most well-written, likable anime characters I have ever fucking seen. Ever written. I have not burned any of the named General Invite books yet. Nope. FFF is that one Monster Hunter-like game, and the Behemoth in Monster Hunter World crossover. Honestly, Behemoth is not fun if you aren't playing with 3 other friends. Behemoth got better when they introduced Master Rank, and then you go into the high rank version of Behemoth with Master Rank gear. It's better if you do it that way, but the only reason why it is fun that way is because you outscale him, and that is a bad way to design a fight, in my opinion. That is a fucking poor way to design a fight. I know that there's the option to be able to go into things solo, but I do not see how anybody would solo the Behemoth in any way, shape, or form. It actually is specifically designed and incentivizes the player to work with a team and have somebody actually tank the Behemoth by hitting him in the face. It actually is designed to have somebody tank. So in a game where there isn't even the holy trinity of tank, healer, DPS, it actually kind of brings that into Monster Hunter, which, while that's a cool mechanic, right? I have to say, Behemoth is kind of a shitty fight on that regard, because they're kind of trying to push a playstyle into a game that has no place for that playstyle. So, it's cool, because it is that one fight, but if you want anything from that fight, it instantly becomes a fucking drag, and I don't like it for that alone. I do like the Behemoth fight, though. I actually do really like the Behemoth fight, mostly because the music from that, which is Fallen from the Heavens, whatever the name of that Final Fantasy XIV boss theme is, I think it's literally Fallen from the Heavens is the song that it plays. And that is one of the most... I have that on my D&D playlist, by the way, for a boss fight. I think I've used it already. That is one of the best fucking soundtracks I have heard for a fight ever. But it's a Square Enix soundtrack, so... Absolutely. Cool idea, awful execution. It doesn't make it totally bad, it's just... it's not as good as it could be. I think it's kind of a mediocre fight. You also still haven't told me what deck that you would like to run, Jimmy McGee, so I am going to probably slap one on you, my friend. Keep a couple of him. Don't even bother with Extremeth, because I'm not a masochist. I agree. You should be honored to take Nemo's page. That's true. I'm just gonna give him Nemo's then. Fuck it. You are the chosen one. You have been chosen. I'm gonna give Firefang this page. None of you need to wonder why. Because you know exactly why. Oh, fuck. Okay, you do have Rose's page. Should be decent. So we'll do that. Now I just gotta... I gotta change the way y'all look. Hold on. Hold the phone. I could give you Dong Juan. I could. I might give you the Liu page, actually. I might do that. Because it looks kinda dope. Actually, you know what? Congratulations, you're Dante now, Rediment. As for you, Firefang, I think I'm gonna give you Liu. There we go. Excellent. Alright, cool. Let's see, what does Sadist Granny have for me? Big Bird. Alright. I also didn't burn any pages yet, Zagaran, because I wanted to do all of my abnormality fights first, at least if I could do them, and then start burning pages. I haven't even burned them to get the things out of them yet, and key pages, so... Anyway, Lady Bina isn't here to help us, so we should do this on our own. I remember we had to put that bird to sleep before we could work with it. The most dangerous beast in the forest is the one we're facing right now. I don't know about that one. I don't think that's the most dangerous beast in the forest, my friends. I really don't know about that one. Best boy time. For anything other than burning. Some of them are required, I think, unless you're talking about other books entirely. Some of them I think are required for Abno fights, though. Wasn't there when you said that. Oh, that's all good, Jimmy. That is all good. You're our Nemo for this fight. Blackbirds being a D&D party. What does Big Bird do specifically? Big Bird literally insta-kills. So that's, like, not fair, but... I mean, the tall bird, the big one, that's super skinny and stuff, and blindfolded, I mean, he's definitely a DPS. There's no fucking doubt about that. Big Bird time indeed. Not everyone knows about Power Ranger Bird. Be the guy with Boris page so I can beat up people with discipline. I will remember that one, and I will have to pull a Boris page for you, my friend. Yeah, Judgment Bird. Oh, gotcha, the general invite ones. Yep. Okay. I think I need more Dong Huan pages, though, so I would need to fight him some more. Also, let me actually read this really quickly, because, when clashing against Lullaby, eh? Alright, hold on, I need to read this. Watchful eyes. Big Bird's targets cannot be redirected by librarians. Oh. That's not nice. Just gonna really make sure that, honestly, that's not too bad. Because all I need to do is literally do like an overcome crisis to that, and that's a win, so. Uses Dazzle on the first turn every 3 turns after, which inflicts enchanted on a librarian. When is enchanted, copy of Birdcage is added to the hands of all librarians who aren't enchanted. I don't know if I should do anything about that, actually. Don't tell me if I should. I'm going to have to take a risk on whether or not that I want Dazzle to hit. And that's going to be the fun part, is if I want to do that or not. So that actually is something that I would consider the fun of this fight right now, so nobody actually say in chat if I need to do anything with Dazzle. Ocular Stab, inflict 4 bind next scene. And then what do you do? Special combat page that can stagger Big Bird to the librarian that defeats this character. Oh, alright, so you kill it and you get a stagger card. Does not target enchanted librarians. Alright. Yeah, this game is one of the few games that I have seen that actually does add fights a justice. I gotta say. Oh. I choose no. So I actually have to fucking intercept those. That's rude. Wow. Alright, I don't really have a good counter to that then, other than just fucking block it, I guess. That's rude. Holy fuck. Honestly, I might have to just take that, because I don't really have a good attack for it anyway. Really kind of putting me against a wall here, and I don't like it. But what if I do that? Because then that'll still get the interception anyway. I can shuffle those in any fucking order. That's fine. And I need the draw, so fuck it. Overcome Crisis. That is a loud plane. That is a very loud plane. And yeah, you literally take no damage, big guy, so... I guess he's a tank. That's really the only thing that I can say, man, is I guess Big Bird is a tank. So, alright. Uncontrollable. Speed is fixed at 1. Uses Dazzled, targeting Big Bird. Gotcha. So that's what that is. Lose power when clashing against Lullaby. Break speed die of target and immobilize target for next scene. Got it. So I guess we just each fucking birdcage him. Yeah, I guess we can't actually intercept anything either, too, I'm noticing. Or at least I can't, right here. Stared at. Yeah, I can only target up there. Yeah, gotcha. So I need to deal with this accordingly, it looks like. Oh, that means I can't target him with birdcage. Ooh. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good, because I actually can't use that on him. So, alright, well, it's been fun, Firefang. literally, I can't. I want to, but I can't. Can't. Alright, well, I'm going to use this then, it looks like. And get smacked in the face. As for you... Oh, no. That's not a good. I can't do much about that now, can I? Oh, I actually don't need to intercept that, so that's fine. Well, that gives me an option here, at least. What do we have for... Redmond only needs 3, huh? I'm gonna do ready up. Fuck it. We'll see what happens here, because I mostly was doing a mechanic check anyway. Oh yeah, no, they continue to attack. Instantaneous death. Yeah, that is rude. So, got it. Yeah, you do not want that to get used at all, and you can't actually intercept it. So let's try that one again, and not be a dick. I don't have any one-sided fucking any singular attacks, though, with this character. Could it have been anybody other than Rediment, you fuck? I might actually let it go through this round just because that sucks. That is like the worst deck. Like literally ever to have go against that. Because like the second attack is going to hit that defense dice down, Rediment is going to get a shitload of fucking staggered. Cool, higher speed, gotcha. I'm going to use Golden Opportunity. And this. See, that's very rude of you. I'm gonna try to do that and see what happens. Now, hopefully my theory is proper here, and literally attacking with anything negates that. Yeah, I thought so. Alright, cool. Yeah, that's what I was talking about right there. That's awful. If it were anybody else, I would just use, like, a 0 cost. Pew pew. No, it still goes through even if you attack it then. Which is strange. Oh, gross. And the bind on top of it? Are you serious? That is nasty. Ugh. I'll be honest, I've seen this fight for about 11 seconds, and actually, this is the exact example of the things that I don't feel like doing in this game right now. To be honest with you guys, so I may very well call it quits here. I'm not gonna catch him in time, am I? With the other bird cage. Nope. Yeah, nah, I'm good with this fight. That's not what I feel like doing right now. That's not a thing that I consider fun at all, actually. It's kind of a garbage fight. Insta-death is not a good combination with a game as heavily RNG reliant on this as the Library of Ruina is. I'm not sure how I feel about that right now, and I know a lot of that is kind of being harbored by Salt at the current moment, so I'll withhold judgments until I get through it and I actually see like the fine mechanics of the fight and stuff. But my first impressions of that fight are not very good. My overall first impressions there are not good ones. That being said, though, I am going to set up this shite. And I will give you the dong page. And I guess we'll just take a look at fucking Hawkmas then. I've never heard of the Burrowing Heaven, so if it existed in LC, then I don't know about it. This did exist in LC, didn't it? This was fucking Geb's spear. Did this exist in Lobotomy, guys? And this was... and the Heaven's Thorn was the name of the spear she threw at people that turned them into eyeball stalks? Because that's what this reminds me of. Better dispose of it quickly. Shouldn't look away, huh? If you're prepared, then let us begin. Yes, it did. Decent spear. Thought so. The first two Bina Abnos by waiting long enough to get the general invite key pages. There's some really good ones that help each other. That's the thing. I feel like that fight would be much easier if you're able to have things to go in your way that are proper counters for the right things. I feel like I have to build around that floor for Big Bird for it to be something that I would have more enjoyment with. Because I don't have the right setups at the moment to be able to counter the attacks that they have for the minions right now, and I think that's a lot of my frustration. Do not dare avert your gaze. Oh, that's horrible. That is actually the worst. Fun fact, ranged dice wastes counter dice. It does. Really butchering my sentences today. It happens. I'm gonna just catch up on chat, though, really quickly before we move over to fighting this thing really quickly. What class would Big Bird be? I do remember when that came up before when I first read it, but yeah, I guess he's a tank. I don't know what kind of tank, but maybe like a monk, to be honest with you, especially with like the counter. He's kind of like a monk tank. Boris page so I can beat up people with discipline. I do remember that one. Judgment Bird. Some kind of bard. I mean, bard also works too. I'm gonna say he's a monk slash bard. Honestly, I'm gonna say that he is a monk slash bard. But either way, yeah, take it easy, Ricky. I know you're probably not here, but take it easy, my friend. Punishing Bird would be the DPS, and Judgment Bird might be more of a mage. I can see that. You got your Holy Trinity. And together they make the Apocalypse. Tank lock. Probably some sort of tank lock or tank bard. Probably. Spellcasting focus is obviously his lantern, or maybe Punishing Bird might be more of a wannabe DPS that became a retaliator once actually hit. Corrupted Paladin for Big Bird, given how, like the rest, it wound up like this from a misguided attempt to protect the forest's truth. Counter-oriented Monk Druid. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, maybe even just go with a caster, to be honest with you, but definitely a monk to start. Take the hit for him to lash out. Dodging would not count. Yeah. A Palabard. Long boy, maybe a wizard or a cleric or something. Definitely a cleric has to be in Longbird. Cleric has to be in there somewhere. Just because of the concept of judgment and stuff like that, it sounds weirdly pious. There needs to be a cleric influence in that. Blade Singer wizard with power word kill. I love that a lot, Marcus. A Berserker class that gains damage the more they get hit. Ooh. That'd be something. Path of the Beast. All his grown weapons would be the mouth on his stomach. I don't blame you, this is an abnormal that'll be 100% dedicated on... Yeah. Hawkmas unreleased Abno, probably. Don't think so. It's not that hard. It existed in LC? Yeah, so back over to that with the spear and stuff. Wants to never deal with it. Can you guess what its gimmick was in LC? Not at all, whatsoever. Basically a weeping angel on crack. Pretty much, that sounds about right. They give you a good, I hated the Schadenfreude mechanics. I actually kind of hated Schadenfreude. I was like, what is going on here? Okay, so, becomes active if no thorns are awake. He uses a mass attack page on the same scene it became active. I imagine these are the thorns. Yes. Wings for an old god. While this character is active, all librarians are inflicted with 10 feeble at the start of the scene. Ew. Ew. Takes twice as much stagger from deflects. Oh. Okay. That's fine. And then if this character remains active for 3 scenes, a Heaven's Thorn will be spawned next scene and every 3 scenes after. Got it. Do you take damage? Sort of. Don't look away. If a librarian engages in combat against another character, all other librarians take... Ew. Ew. With feeble next scene. The amount is equal to the amount of combat pages the librarian has used against this character during the battle. Wait, what? My brain is fucking mush today, I swear to God. Yeah, so everything, like, this is kind of really incentivizing blocks, too. Will awaken in 3 scenes. If a Heaven's Thorn or the Burrowing Heaven is staggered, this does not go down. Oh, this is all counter dice, so you actually don't even need to attack it if you don't want to. Interesting. I don't even know how to go about this fight. If I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with you. I mean, it's definitely incentivizing blocking is the thing. I could go ahead and build a deck for it too, but I don't know if I want to. Wow, I don't even know if that's a fucking good idea to attack either, too. Yeah, this is a weird fight, man, because I'm used to just like, yeah, go ahead and throw all of your extra cards on things, but it's like, I don't know, man, he's got so much counter dice that he's just gonna kick your teeth in. You sure you want to do that, bruv? Because like, now I'm looking at that, and I'm like, because I'm probably gonna wind up being put against that puts bleed on me right now. Do I really want to hit somebody with Overcome Crisis to draw? Not really. And then we have three, what? We have 3 rounds until that thing's fucking active? Or are we gonna flip-flop to this fucker attacking next? I have to find out. I have to find out, so. Block, and then pew-pew. Okay, so nothing happened up there, that's fine. It doesn't say that there's a cooldown on that either after you engage, so I don't think that you can ever attack anything other than the first dude that you swing at. That is dicks right there. Dicks to you, sir. Yeah, you know what, fuck it, emotional turbulence, just because I know that that's going to wind up doing some good stuff there, so. Yeah, there we go. Though I'm weirded out that the counter die didn't stay there. I guess I still don't remember 100% how counter dice is supposed to work. Huh. Whatever, fuck it. We're gonna wind up having 2 next round, eh? So, we literally can only, like, you can take your time doing this on top of it because they're all counter, at least from what I'm seeing. That's the good thing. Light doesn't necessarily seem like a big issue here. And you just gotta remember what fucking librarian is going after what. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, I actually... like, counterintuitively to the last fucking thing that we did, right? I didn't really like the Big Bird fight. This one I can wrap my brain around, though. Like, I see what they're trying to do here, and it's kind of fucking cool. It's pain, but it's kind of cool. Alright, cool. I will take that. I don't know what just happened there. I didn't attack anybody else. What the fuck was that? That was a 40% damage thing for him attacking the same thorn? The fuck? Did I see that wrong? Like, or did I intercept the wrong thing? What the deuce was that? What happened there, guys? I'm gonna actually ask you guys that, because I don't know what just happened there. Everybody just took a shitload of damage when I attacked the same enemy with the same character all around. What the fuck was that? Being attacked by both at once? But that's counter dice, is it not? Unless there's like an actual attack in there. That's the thing that confuses me. This is all counter dice. If you send counter dice at somebody and they don't attack you, that shouldn't trigger a clash, though. Unless my entire understanding of the system is incorrect. I mean, either way, this, the block is about the only thing I've got going for me here. Though I probably should do something about this fucker in the middle. It's just if any librarian, I guess. Which, that makes sense to me, though, with Odin attacking the one in the middle. That's fine. That makes sense. What I have issues understanding is why the last time anybody took damage during that clash. Why did I do the big bird one? I may actually wait to do these next two Abnos, though, I'll be honest with you. Because these are a little bit more difficult than I'd initially thought. Kind of underestimated them, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh my god, stop barely beating him with the blocks, damn you. I need the stagger dabblage. There we go, that's better. So, last time this happened, this motherfucker did a shitload of damage for seemingly no reason. Let's see what happens now. Kind of need that Will of the Prescript at some point. Maybe I should do it now. But it's not really gonna do me any favors at all, so... But that also gives me 2 light, so maybe I should wait on that. Yeah, there was a bunch of fucking damage again there for no reason. So, like, are you supposed to cycle over to the next enemy, then? Because if that's what you're supposed to do, that is very, very poorly articulated. So, hold the phone. So let's try that one again. I'm going to cycle over to the second thorn. So we'll do this one again from the top. Cool, inner Ardor, I can dig that. Now we have 8 burn on the fucker. Now, let's try this one again, but with a different person, right? So this motherfucker has waken up. Don't look away if a librarian engages in combat against another character. All librarians take damage equal to 40% of their max HP. So, in theory, we should still be focusing on this one, but that's clearly been a lie the whole time that I've been testing this. And it's still a lie. But the thing is that damage also only goes to other librarians, too, I'm noticing. All other, so yeah. Yeah, I fail to understand what it's saying, because there's an extra little nuance to this that actually isn't communicated to the player here. And I don't know what it is. I'm going to kick myself in the head when I figure it out, but the wording isn't 100% accurate. Well, that's the thing, though, Jimmy McGee. There was nobody that was clashing the one in the middle the first time around, and that was both times. Is there just a different passive for when there's more than one Thorn awake? Because that would make sense. But if it's the 40% max HP thing for Don't Look Away, that's not the same thing. I mean, I get what this, I get from what you guys are reading to me, what needs to be done, which is just getting the stagger in the 3 rounds, right? Like, I do get that. The problem is the wording here is not very great at explaining it. Like, you get what I'm saying? I do get it now that I'm actually reading, like, what needs to be done. Like I said, I'm gonna kick myself in the head once I figure it out, because it's clear that I'm just not getting it. Which is fine, but a lot of that is in this little vague wording right here. If a librarian engages in combat against another character, that sounds like to me where if you attack an enemy, okay, this is where my brain went with it. If you attack an enemy and then attack a different enemy on screen than the last enemy that was hit, everybody takes damage. That's what that sounds like to me. What that should say is if there are more than 2 enemies to engage with on the field at a time, or some equivalent of that. Or at least just add that in as an extra sentence on top of what's already there. Because the wording is really poor at that. That is really poor wording for it. So I kind of want to try now having everybody clash against it now, since I know that that's what it's looking for. Like, that makes the entirety of the fight very different the entire dynamic of this fight is very different. Might as well emotional turbulence then. But yeah, that makes the entire way this fight rolls out completely different. I thought that was if you engaged with the first thorn, right? If you engage with the first thorn, that pops up. Then you cannot fight any other thorn on the field, just out of the wording there. That's about the best I can do there. Of course, my rolls are fucking hot garbage right now. Which is whatevs, but pretty bad rolls right now, gotta say. Maybe an emotional turbulence? Maybe. Yeah, actually, emotional turbulence would be fine, but I only need one emotion token, so maybe just that. Actually, that can be intercepted. Never mind. I take that back. I could even fucking ripple, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think we good, but I should use this as a draw, so fuck it. Now, Hawkmaballs, I need you to actually deal with this man's... You're not gonna be able to deal with this man's, are you? Oh, that's fine. Now, this would be really good for a martini page. Yeah, my rolls were fucking garbage. This would be really good for a martini page, though, for sure. Though, again, this fight I'm not feeling right now. Alrighty. I think it's satisfactory time, guys. After I catch up on chat. I'm also looking at it, though, too. That's the thing, though, Eric. Right? So, my thought process is I'm also, since I've been playing a lot of D&D lately, I am looking at it from D&D rules, which is a little flawed, I know. But that's where my perspective is coming from and why I'm looking at it that way, where, like, in D&D, right, when you attack an enemy, you are now engaged with that enemy. And in order to attack a different enemy, you need to actually, in 5e at least, you need to do sacrifice a turn to disengage properly with that enemy. If you run by that enemy to attack another enemy, you provoke what is called an attack of opportunity by doing so. And that's what I look at, is the engagement rules in D&D are once you strike that enemy, you are now engaged with that unit at that moment in time. So I literally thought that they were doing like D&D engagement rules for some reason. It doesn't necessarily have to make sense. It's just in my brain, I was thinking D&D engagement rules. You attack the enemy, I am engaged with this enemy, and I must focus down on this one thorn, and if I separate off to attack a different unit, then I cost the entire party health. So, the mechanic makes sense what they're trying to do. It absolutely does. Like, it really does in hindsight. I just think that the wording could have been done a little bit better. Yeah. For someone who doesn't know or doesn't have Lobcorp Burrowing Heaven Mind, the wording will be weird. Absolutely. Yep. But other than that, no, I don't have a problem with that Abno fight, really. I don't think that I have the, willpower to big brain it right now, to be honest with you. We could probably set up different decks to be able to do it, and I might even want you guys to do deck propositions in the Discord for me to go ahead and jump back into this one later. I might actually have you guys do so for me just so that we can kind of streamline it, because as it goes with progress right now, I kind of just need to get through those so I can burn the pages that we need to access those abnormality fights. And I kind of don't want to be locked on them forever. Like, they're definitely beatable, is the thing. They're definitely beatable. It's feeling like the Queen of Hatred all over again, and I am okay with that. I'm not feeling the fights at the exact moment to jump into them and build decks for it. So I might just have you guys submit some decks for me to run for those fights, and next week we can stomp them into oblivion and then dive into general invites and all that stuff that we need to do there for last minute actions, and then move into the second stages of Star of the City, and we can go from there. That's what I'm thinking. Also, hello, Seventona. So that's how relationships work. So I have to attack someone to get engaged and married. Best life advice here on Fox Person channel. You know, you didn't hear that from me. I'm just gonna hide under my desk. Anyway, for later, combat preparation is a really good card for Hawkma in general, but for this part specifically, even more so. I can imagine that must be a really good card, actually. In Shonen and Harem, if Kite just beat Neferpitu down, he'd have a cat wife. Oh boy, that's beautiful. Back from my new job, and wow, my feet hurt. Well, I am glad that you have a job, my friend. Not so fun with the feet hurty part, but hey. I just gotta catch up on chat, though, big time with everything that I had missed. Opposite of Schadenfreude mechanics, I think, was the last. Blockma, basically. Eek! Glockma, Josh Nichols! Anyway. As in the effect on them. Urban Rural, hello. How you doing? Need to learn the glory of Blockma balls to overcome these thorns. You have to use block cards to stagger them, and then use attack pages as the feeble is gone once they are staggered. Odd case of good defenses make a good offense sort of deal. I figured, so this one needs like a specific build. Which I'm okay with, I just don't feel like digging through pages for an hour and a half. Honestly think Burrowing Heaven is one of the underrated world-ending threats alongside the Servant of Wrath. Few universes that could deal with the... yeah. Probably. Gotta zoom, kill him before the others awake, or else every clash against other enemies will injure your nugs. Your chicken nugs. Counter dice don't activate against other counter dice. Indeed. Noticing that now. Contain it within your sight. Blinking is okay. It will tolerate a brief moment. Yeah, that's terrifying. Not gonna lie. What things from other universes could deal with certain abnos or not. It would be fun. It's always a fun thought experiment anyway. Like I said, I'm just catching up on chat here, guys, for a minute, and then I'm actually probably going to close the stream and then start a second stream for when we move over to whatever game that we play. In the meantime, though, I kind of wondered what you guys would like me to move over to as well. I don't know, because, again, I'm still feeling the Factorio vibes, or the Satisfactory vibes right now, but I do have other options. Like, I've been playing a lot of, I've been playing a lot of PSO2 lately. I just don't know how it's going to run on stream. I don't think anything new has happened to Craftopia, and nor will it
for about another week, so I'm probably not going to touch that until next week at some point, so maybe not that, but basically it's in between PSO2, maybe Soul Worker, and I guess Satisfactory are like the big things that I would play right now on stream. But yeah, for the most chat engagement, I would definitely say Satisfactory would be a great option though, because I am just feeling like farting around on there. I've been seeing a lot of people playing the game and talking about it recently, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like that game. Now I really want to fucking play it. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Passive said as much. It will straight up damage your nuggets. The jealous god demands attention. Pretty much exactly what's going on. It's a jealous ex-girlfriend, but in god form. It's definitely worse than 173. 173 at least just pops up behind you when you blink and then just strangles you and kills you. It's pretty fucking quick. Well, at least you don't have to watch it all the time, only in attack mode, yes. Are the hardest you will fight, be it mechanics or otherwise. I mean, I about figured as much. I figured that those, that the abnormalities that we fight on the lower floors, or at least the now upper floors, but the lower floors were going to be awful. All because the two schmucks on the camera fell asleep at the same time, for real. Just need a ton of endurance gain. Thorn A and Thorn B were active. You clash with Thorn A, Thorn B damages everyone. Yeah, okay, so it's just like a thing that's expected to be a thought where the other one attacks everybody. Which again goes down to just knowing what the Abno did in LC, which if I had that information, it probably would have made a hell of a lot more sense. Did it with just Hawkma standing. Do-do-do-do-do. Indeed. All other. The attacking librarian isn't damaged. Yeah. That is exactly what happened. Wording is accurate, it's just rather unclear. Yeah, no, it is accurate. It is definitely accurate. It's just kinda, it's a little befuddling, I guess. Kill in 3 turns, not tech. Yeah, kill in 3 turns. Oof. Oof. Honestly, it makes you think about how downright cruel LC was as a company. In Wonderlab, there's a specific Abno HQ. Presses on the turn leaders that has them horrified at the containment procedures, when it could honestly just be locked in a segment of time and not cause problems for anyone ever. But my energy quota. I like that. I will say I don't have a problem. Yeah, so that's about where I was before. Gotcha. Probably the most annoying, but Hawkmas are also tricky to overcome. And then I saw the howdy from 7. Yes. For later combat, yeah. Shown in anime. Got it. Back from my new jump. Feet hurt. So, cool. We're about where we were before. Excellent. Actually, a pretty weak card under normal circumstances in Star of the City, but it works really well in BH. Could post a screenshot of the build I used into my nuggets, but I don't think there was a card in there that you don't have yet. I mean, if you want to go ahead and screenshot it, Jimmy McGee, and throw it into the deck build section, I'll allow it to be put in there. It's absolutely fine. But I think that's what I'm going to do, is have you guys submit deck builds for me for next week to be able to fight these abnormalities, and then I'll dive back into them so that I know how to set myself up for it. Because I'll be setting up a deck for 3 hours and then do the fight, and it'll just take fucking forever. Are you going to do more rant-type content? Probably, except I've been incredibly lazy lately with doing it. I still need to get my Yume Nikki rant going, because I still have the script done.
I just haven't read out the script in Audacity, and I'm probably going to work on it tomorrow, to be honest with you, but I've been very sidetracked with things, especially considering that I had to cram writing out D&D campaign shit last week for the 2 days that I had where I wasn't at somebody else's house. So this week is a little bit more chill for me, and I'll probably be doing that Yume Nikki video and trying to get as much of that shit done as I can, because I gotta download a lot of older videos to be able to use the clips and stuff to talk about it, though. But by the way, speaking of good RPG horrors, man, Yume Nikki, holy shit, that is a game and a half right there. That is an experience. But yeah, I need to get more rant content out. I haven't done an actual Library of Ruina fight rant in so fucking long either, too, and I need to do that. I don't really, like, the thing is, I don't even capture my video footage anymore, though, for the game, so, like, I feel like doing a rant on Library of Ruina fights now at this point is gonna suck, because I have to download hours of a stream and then cut it up. And because I talk to chat while I'm doing it, I'm not constantly doing the fight and talking, so I would need to do constant cuts. So that's like the main reasoning why I haven't done a Library of Ruina rant in ages, is because of that factor. My whole entire structure of how I record the videos for Library of Ruina is entirely different, and putting that even on hyper fast forward is probably not super exciting to watch in the background for things. So I don't even know how I would go about doing a rant of a fight in the Library of Ruina now anymore, because it just would be weird. So that's why I haven't really touched it in a while. But there are some fights I could rant about that were before I started streaming. I don't know about anything after that point, though. I am on the English server for PSO2. I have been just doing the new Genesis stuff for PSO2, though. I'm trying to currently transfer my character over to Ship 4 as well. So there's a lot of like really weird shit that I've been trying to do with that one. I got my cousin into the game as well, but I got a couple of buddies that are over on Ship 4, and I decided to do a ship transfer for my main character, Savaria, over there. But my other two characters are going to remain on Ship 2 Ur. And that's really all that I need to say on that matter, really. I've just been enjoying the new Genesis stuff. I know that it's super strapped on content. There's not a whole lot progression-wise in new Genesis, but it's been enjoyable. PSO2 have a UQ right now. I don't have enough stats to do an urgent quest, sadly. I might migrate, but I don't want to grind for my successor classes again. Yeah. Yeah. Ideal environment. How is one made for BH when it... yeah, for real. Just a camera and one nugget staring at it forever. It's like, you have one job and one job alone. You stare at this camera, and you don't look away from this camera, or we all die. One of my firsts, and it was fun. I love Yume Nikki. It's so good. Mod that lets you refight them. Console commands if you can resist the urge to /win. Ship backups are a thing. Ship equals server. Exactly. A ship is a server in PSO2. Comes at the risk of the game file itself. Sounds about right. Unless you copy the game file. Which I do definitely do backups of game data for things. I have been known to do it in the past. But that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream right here. I think that's what we're going to wind up doing, though, is just submit your deck builds to me, friendos, and we will, yeah, we'll do the thing. Undefined. I need to... You already have a kit roll. Excellent. Somebody is paying attention to my new member zone. Cool. Glad somebody other than the person owning the server is, because Lord knows I don't fucking pay attention to my own new member area. But yeah, so we're going to do that. If you guys could just submit whatever that you need for next week by the time that that is done. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to build the deck from scratch, which is not really a big deal. But if you have anything specific that you want to send me that'll make it a little easier, then that will help to make the progress much faster and streamlined for being able to fight these fucking abnormalities later on. And beyond that, really, that's all that I really have to say here, guys. I'm just going to set up another schedule for, I'm going to say 15 minutes, okay? And I'm going to set it up as
Actually, I need to get a fucking thumbnail and everything for it, so maybe on the hour. In 30 minutes, I will set up my next stream schedule for Satisfactory. What general invitations have you done in Star of the City? Just up to the Night Owl. I have done Dong Huan, Night Owl, and... there's one more I can't think of. I think it's a fixer type. I can't really think of it right now, though, but there's one more in Star of the City I've done, I think. Unless it was just Dong Huan and the Night Owl. I don't know. I feel like there's another one in there, but I can't think of it. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for now. I'm going to set up for that Satisfactory stream. So, the guy with the spear. Weirdly, that doesn't actually ring a bell to me. Unless I'm stupid. Nah, I don't think I ever fought anybody like that. I think I literally just did those two then, unless there's a third one that I can't think of. Yeah, it was the specialized one with +2 pierce, -2 and others. So yeah, that's the Night Owls that I'm talking about. Do I have a quit option here? I do. Look at me. Yeah, that Night Owl. That is exactly what it is. It is Night Owl. Alrighty, guys. I will be right back in a half an hour. So let me go ahead and just stand up, stretch, do all of that fun shits. Make sure that my water is good. And anybody who I wind up seeing when I'm playing Satisfactory in a half an hour, I will see you there. If I don't see you there, then that's fine. I don't blame you. So I will catch you guys all later. Odin Snivy Gunner, take it easy, my friend. So... later, Gamerliff, Zagarin, Marcus Williams, Morgan Le Fay, Seventono, Jimmy McGee. Who else do I have in the immediate history right here? Rydims Deum. I will see you later. Victor Gill. I will see you later. Eric Carver. Take it easy, my friend. I think I already said Zagarin, but if I didn't, later. And yeah, I think that's everybody in the immediate history right there. Take it easy, my friends. I will be back in a half an hour.